Brentech truly does it all. Brentech is your Ring Pro partner and smart home automation solutions provider. Brentech can handle Microsoft 365 support and even Starlink. Visit brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. IT solutions that work.
In farming, timing matters.
Plant too early and you're in trouble.
Wait too long, you miss the season.
Guys, it's the same thing with proposing. Now is the time.
It's Juniker Jewelry's annual Bridal and Wedding Ring Show, March 20th through April 4th. I'm John Ravenstein, third generation in 50 years here at Juniker's.
And I'm Corey Ravenstein, fourth generation, trying to convince the older generation that mules might be great, but air-conditioned tractors are the way forward.
Well, guys, here's a kick from this old mule. Bring your honey and bring your money to Juniker's Bridal and Wedding Ring Show, featuring the largest selection of diamonds, engagement rings, and wedding bands in the state.
All at the best prices of the year. So the more you love, the more you save.
Juniker Jewelry's annual Bridal and Wedding Ring Show, March 20th through April 4th. Guys, your season is now.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and junikerjewelry.com.
Welcome to the Clay Edwards Show. More adrenaline.
You know, it's a pretty interesting time to be alive. What's the saying? May the times you live in be interesting. We have accomplished that.
And more testosterone for your morning drive.
But when you know you've got a problem, how about tell people and be honest? What's going on?
Going to war on cancel culture and bringing the spotlight on issues and topics from around the city of Jackson.
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal. And they don't care. And everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now. And I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning podcaster Clay and
boom, shagalaka boom. You've tuned in to the free range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards, coming at you live, Live, from inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Mississippi studios on a Men's Health Monday, right here in my favorite state and yours, Mississippi. That's right, Mississippi. 1039 WYAB, the 50,000 watt blowtorch. It's the number one morning talk show and the number one most powerful news talk station in the state. We ain't here to play. We're here to raise hell, praise Dale. Well, they say I came to kick butt and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Good morning, Mississippi. How y'all doing out there? Did y'all make it in? It's a roll call time. Who survived St. Paddy's Day weekend? Can I get a show of hands out there from the congregation this morning? Can I get a show of hands? I'm tinkering with my camera here. This chair I'm sitting in is sitting too low, and it's got my whole setting a little messed up. But anyway, we're streaming worldwide on the Mazda of Jackson live streaming. We are streaming everywhere this morning. It looks like everything is working as it is supposed to be. We are over at Save JXN or at Clay Edwards Show across all the different platforms from Twitch to Kick. Those are our two newest. We're on Instagram. We're on two different Facebook pages, my personal page and the big Save Jackson page. Well, it says Clay Edwards, not Save Jackson. But, if you do the facebook.com/ it's Save JXN to get there. That's the business page. We are on YouTube, we are on X, and we are on Rumble as well. Like I said, if you can stream, other than TikTok, we're on just about every mainstream platform we can be on. So we try to make it easy. We really do. We try to make it easy for y'all. We're streaming in different formats and everything. Hey, I mentioned it's a Men's Health Monday. And I want to set a challenge out there for all of us right here. As we roll into April, we're getting a little bit closer to summer. It's going to be a dad bod summer. But what I want to do is I want to set a record this month out at Men's Health in Mississippi. I want to set a record for how many of you guys, men, I'm talking to you, how many of y'all went out there and took advantage and go out there and take advantage of the free testosterone screenings this month. Let's set a record for free testosterone screenings this month or next month, starting in April. So text my name, CLAY, plain and simple, CLAY. Text it to 601-800-5130. 601-800-5130, and get on the schedule and get over there and take advantage of the free testosterone screening. Throw the number up on the screen right there for anybody watching it online. Take a screenshot real quick. If you can't remember it, text Clay, 601-800-5130. Set up your free appointment today. And that is me. That is my before and currents. On the left there, 320 pounds. Ugh, 320 pounds. That was a bad time in my life. On the right, much different situation. 235 pounds. A little bit of muscle. Feeling much better about myself. Feeling good enough about myself to show a picture of myself on the internet without a shirt on. Things I never thought I would do. Anyway, so you'll never show the fat photo unless you got a better current photo to go with the fat photo, right? Whoa. I don't want to show that before until I'm ready for that current or after, whatever you want to call it. All right. St. Paddy's Day parade was this weekend. I got a bunch of topics we're going to talk about this morning. We're here for 3 full hours. Coming up in hour 3, as we are known to do on Mondays and Tuesdays, we'll have Andrew Gosser, no breaks here, Mr. Andrew Gosser, host of the Andrew Gosser Show. I'll be in studio with me live for hour 3. We'll chop it up about a bunch of different stuff. Andrew keeps his finger on the pulse of what's going on over there with the war in Iran. So I'll defer till we get Andrew in here, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And I want to talk about a little bit of AI stuff. I sent Andrew a 3-hour podcast the other day about AI. And this it was an insider who's worked in the AI business and wrote a book about it, was on the Diary of a CEO podcast, talking about the pros and cons of AI from a very interesting perspective. If anybody wants that podcast, you could text me on the LS Autoplex text line, and I will send you the link. I think it's really good to take deep dives into this stuff and try to understand some of the fact and fiction of the dangers and pros of AI. Or should I say the fact and fiction of the pros and cons of AI? There's a lot of lies out there in both directions, for the pros and for the cons. So if anybody's interested in that, I'll send you the link to it, or you can go find, I don't remember who he was interviewing, but it's called The Diary of a CEO is the podcast. Really good podcast, by the way. If you like intellectual, I'm a super smart guy. No, I'm kidding. I like intellectual podcasts like that because it makes me think. I try to turn my trips in my vehicle, I try to make it like commuter college. Like, why not? If you're going to be in your vehicle for more than 30 minutes, why don't you try to learn something instead of listening to music all the time? But listen to a podcast, listen to a book, listen to the Clay Edwards Show. You're going to learn something. Commuter college is what they call it. I didn't know it had a name, but I've been doing it for years, and especially since I started doing this radio show, and I have to drive about 40 minutes one way to get here. So it's like pretty much an hour and a half I'm in a vehicle. And why not listen to a book? Why not listen to podcasts? It makes the time go by way faster, or talk radio. So this sounds bad, but I really try not to listen to a lot of the other WYAB hosts, and hear me out on this, unless there's like something specific I want to hear their opinion on. Because I like for my show to stay very authentic to my show. And what I've learned is if I've listened to everybody else's show a lot, that I'll start to pick up on their stuff, and my show starts sounding like their show. For a while, my show sounded like the Acme version of the Kim Wade show, like a knockoff version of Kim Wade. And I didn't want to do that. I started felt like I was stealing too many of Kim's isms. And I was like, man, I got to quit doing that. And then I was listening to too much Salty Cracker. And so my show started sounding too much like Salty Cracker. So I try to find a balance of what all I listen to. And so those influences don't overly take over my show, because it's bad. I notice it when other people listen to somebody else's show too much. I'm like, they're listening to whoever's show too much. I don't want to name any names here, because I don't want anybody to think I'm talking bad about them, because I'm not. It's just, it happens. But with all that said, I listen to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts and whatnot. All right. LS Autoplex text line this morning. You got anything? 769-241-1944. I see the live chat is lively already this morning. Man, y'all guys hit that like button, hit the share button wherever you're watching that, especially if you're watching on Facebook or X, or if you're watching on Instagram, hit the share button, send it to your stories out there. It'd be much appreciated. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe. St. Paddy's Day parade. I guess I should have pulled some of the pictures, but I'm sure y'all have seen them like I have. It was what's the best way to put it? At least the photos I saw, wildly unattended event, at least along Capitol Street and honestly along parts of State Street there. I was shocked at some of the photos I saw come out of there. I've seen some drone photos or drone videos where it showed a bunch of people, but it had to kind of been at the end of the parade because they were all in the middle of the street and stuff. So I don't know if they were dispersing or what the deal was. I haven't seen anything that looked like it had the last couple of years. I sold a shirt to a fella the other day. I told y'all I had like one green 3XL St. Paddy's Day shirt left over from last year that was unsold. I tried to sell it on the show Friday. Well, I did. And that guy came by the house and I assumed he was buying it to, shout out to Chuck. I assumed he was buying it so he could go to the parade, but he was just buying it because he had a shirt for every year up through, but he didn't have one for 2025 and it still had the 2025 stamp on it or screen print on it. He wanted it for his collection. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, we're not going. And I may be paraphrasing a bit here, but he said that all the new rules and stuff, no porta potties, no barbecue grills, no this, no that. And these are people who have been going for years and 20 years, 30 years, parking in the parking lot, setting up with the RVs, doing the camping, making a whole weekend of it pretty much. And they're not going anymore because the new rules, while I understand the new rules about no grills, no tents, all this, that, and the other, what that has now done, and it's why we can't have nice things, is the people who have been acting right for 25, 30 years are being punished because the culture has now ruined the St. Paddy's Day parade. And I believe it's the death knell for it. I really do, unfortunately. It's time to move, or maybe not move. It's time for the city of Pearl, because they got the space for this. It's time for the city of Pearl to just take the St. Paddy's Day parade from Jackson. Maybe don't start it off as a big monster event. Maybe start it off something similar to what Pearl Day is. Set up a big stage, have a well enough known artist. Let some people come up, set up, be vendors, do a free concert. I don't know. I'm working this through in my head. I'm spending their money for them. But I think it's time to relocate or just start something new. The Howes, St. Paddy Day Parade, they're still going to do it. I wish places like Martin's and Hallamau as well, they'll always be able to throw a block party down there on that day and they'll do well. But it's time for one of these other communities around here to put their arms around it and take it. The city of Clinton did this weekend with their Brick City Festival or Red Brick Festival or whatever it's called. Had the Molly Ringwalds playing. I heard it was, I can't say what I want to say. There's a saying I like to say. We'll just say shoulder to shoulder. I heard it was shoulder to shoulder packed. I ain't seen any shoulder to shoulder packed photos of that parade in Jackson. I heard Chip told me this. I haven't seen the quote myself, but I don't doubt it. The mayor of Jackson said, this is not about St. Paddy. This ain't about Ireland no more. This is a diverse event. It's the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Anybody's welcome. It can be as diverse as you want it to be, but son, it is absolutely about Irish culture, not culture rot. Culture rot ruined it. Only thing that can save it is Irish culture. Busting that head to the white meat of them fools, they don't act right. That's the only thing gonna save that parade. Busting that head to the white meat. I got lucky. One of our followers here on the Clay Edwards show or the Save Jackson page. Saw some of the culture effing around and finding out. And y'all can go see that video. Apparently the cops maced him, body slammed him, and gave him them handcuffs. Now, we don't have the video of him getting maced, but apparently he had a gun. For whatever reason, well, I ain't gonna hate him. I'd gone to the parade, I'd have had a gun too. But I wouldn't have had it. I wouldn't have been brandishing my firearm. So anyway, I'm gonna see the video of one of Jackson's finest getting arrested by, I guess, Capitol Police or whomever, and hauled off. But luckily, to the best of my knowledge, nobody got shot this year, so that is a good thing. They're on a streak one whole year without anybody getting shot. But man, I guess that's the question of the day. We got a bunch of questions of the day today. It's going to be a very question and audience participation heavy show this morning. Is it time to move the St. Paddy's Day parade, or just for a city like Pearl, who has the place with the not the Brave Stadium, but Trustmark Park? Is it time for Pearl to start something new and compete with the St. Paddy's Day parade in Jackson? The city of Clinton very successfully did it this weekend. I would say the city of Brandon, but they already have their Mardi Gras thing that they do, and they do a very good job with it. I wouldn't try to do two things. I think Pearl needs to step up. They got the space. They got the elbow room to make it work. I mean, I guess Brandon could do it something over at the amphitheater, but it just ain't got that vibe. I'm sorry. I love the amphitheater for concerts. I don't want the amphitheater for this kind of event. I need it kind of wide open spaces or down on a city street or something like that. If they wanted to set it up, do it downtown Brandon on a Saturday, the way they do the Friday night thing with that Mardi Gras parade they do, that would work. But I'm just feeling like Pearl's got the room for this to grow and be a monster that it has the potential to be, using the Trustmark Park area. And I haven't even considered Madison or anything like that. Madison just don't put off that vibe for me that they even would want to do this. It's a little too bougie up there for this kind of thing. This little guy, it's just Clay Edwards talking here. I ain't speaking for nobody. You got to be ready for a little bit of white trash throwdown. You got to be able to kind of let your inner, white trash side out. Go out, let your hair down, have fun. I need a blue collar town for that. Madison, I just don't feel like Madison. It would feel a little bit too much like a tailgating in the Grove for me. I don't want to do chandeliers and chicken strips. Let's take a break, man. That's the question of the day. Is it time to move the St. Paddy's Day parade, or somebody just start a new one? Text me. Ellis Autoplex text line, 769-241-1944. We got a caller on hold. We'll get the call phone number back out when we come back. Or, of course, you can drop a chat in the live stream over there on the Mazda Jackson live stream. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB.
WYAB.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness in Mississippi. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet, so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's is a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic Southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Your pool should be something you enjoy.
not something you fight with. Hi, I'm Darren with Elite Pools. At Elite Pools, we do more than just service. We take care of everything your pool needs, from your routine maintenance to your full repairs, upgrades, and even complete transformations. If your pool needs a little attention or a fresh start, then Elite Pools can bring it back to life. Visit Elite Pools online at elitepoolsms.com. That's elitepoolsms.com. Or give us a call. At Elite Pools, we keep you swimming.
You love your land, and you have plans for it. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on our versatile, reliable lineup, helping you turn dream projects into reality. Visit your Kubota dealer today for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, 0% financing available, or save up to $5,500 off select compact tractors. Sale ends soon. Stop by your local dealer or go to gokubota.com.
Visit Davini Equipment in Madison and Jackson, or at DaviniEquipment.com.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
Got electrical problems? Marty Cowden and Cowden Electric are here for you. Cowden Electric is your trusted electrician, serving the Jackson area for 3 decades. Electrical repair, service, and home rewiring are just the start of what Cowden Electric can do. Cowden Electric also installs generators to keep your power going when everyone else's lights are out. Plus, LED lighting, remodels, new construction, no job is too small. Visit CowdenElectric.com today to see all that they do. Cowden Electric, powering your home and business.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Need a new car? Then march right over to Mazda of Jackson and spring in the savings. Get 1.9% financing for 63 months on all 2025 CX-5s, 2026 CX-90s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and Mazda 3s with approved credit. And get 1-year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. Don't wait another minute to experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. So get to Mazda of Jackson today, where pre-owned vehicles and hassle-free trade-in options are also available. Shop online or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Clay Edwards Show.
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYAB.com. Anyway, welcome back in. This is the Clay Edwards Show, the #1 morning drive time talk show in the state of Mississippi, based right out of here on the little old station that could. Little old pirate radio. 1039 WYAB. Man, I think when I started here, we were like 500 watts. I don't even know. I'm kidding. Like 5,000 watts, something like that. And we are now 50,000 watts, man. You can't say that loud enough. For the haters in the back. For the haters in the back. Pull that wax, clean the wax out your ears. Get your little peroxide, put on a Q-tip. Get that wax out your ears. Get one of those little sucky things. You know, we know y'all will do good at that. Get your boyfriend, whatever. Get the wax out your ears. And let me say it a little bit louder. The 50,000 watt blowtorch. Maybe I'll put it up against your ear and burn the wax out. Either way, thank y'all for tuning in this morning on WYAB. We're inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness in Mississippi studios. This segment, real quick, guys, brought to you by our good friends over at Ellis Autoplex. Get by see Casey and his team today. They got a Z06 Corvette in newer body style. I think I saw 2024. I guess I should have double checked before I got to run my mouth here, but you know what? In live time, I do have the technology to look. But you can swing by ellisautoplex.com or go by Ellis Autoplex on Facebook and check out their full inventory there, man. They keep it listed everywhere. You don't have to look hard to find what's available there at Little Truck City, a.k.a. Ellis Autoplex. Yep, I got that Corvette right here. So 2024 Z06. This thing is fine. It's only got 3,000 miles on it. It's got some beautiful wheels. Let's see here. It's got the carbon fiber aero package. It's got the Tech bronze accent package. It's the Sea Wolf gray tri-coat paint color. Apparently it's ultra rare color combo. It's also got the driver focused interior with carbon fiber and suede steering wheel, fighter jet inspired cockpit. Look, I'm not going to sit here and read all this to you. You just need to go check it out. We don't get prices out here either. Let's just be honest. You're looking at a 2024 Z06 with 3,000 miles. You know, that's a 6-digit car. Just so go check it out. I'm going to go out on a limb here, having worked for Casey and known him for as long as I have. This is probably the most expensive vehicle he's ever had there on the lot, or right there with it anyway. But it is a beaut. It is a beaut. You'll never know. I'll never tell anybody I won the lottery, but there will be signs like that Z06 in my driveway. But look, man, what they specialize in is pre-owned 4-door, 4-wheel drive F-150s. That's their bread and butter. Check it out. Casey did text in and says, most expensive one and a hell of a car to drive. So y'all swing by and check that out. Check out the F-150s they got available too. I'm looking at one right up under that one on his Facebook page. Gorgeous charcoal gray. That might not be the technical name, but Ford does this thing where all these car manufacturers do this thing now where they take a color you've known your whole life is charcoal gray and they'll name it something different. But it's a gorgeous vehicle. It's a 2023 F-150 trimmer package, 4x4. And I'm going to tell you, it's a one-owner, clean Carfax, 91,000 miles. Got a little level kit on it, brand new tires, black wheels, gorgeous truck. Y'all go check that out over there too. That's right on the Facebook page. It's got the 3.5 EcoBoost. Man, I love the EcoBoost. My Raptor's got the EcoBoost. It's also got 500 horsepower. I know there's some 5.0 V8 purist out there, and look, I love the 5.0 too. I love the big, the 6.4, I think it is. The big V8 they had in the Raptors, the big block. I love them all. I really do. But I'm telling you, the twin turbo EcoBoost is one of the most fun vehicles you'll ever drive. If you're an enthusiast, they're just fun to drive. I went to the car wash the other day, and this young guy that was working there, young black dude, and he was spraying off the wheels or whatever. And he's like, man, is this thing got a turbo on it? I was like, I guess he noticed the exhaust pipes, or you can hear those fans roaring too. And he's like, I said, it's actually a twin turbo. He wasn't aware that the Raptors had the twin turbo motor now. Anyway, just like super excited about it. This dude got it. Like he loves like a twin turbo. I was like, yeah, it's awesome, man. I was like, jump in, we'll go for a ride. He couldn't. But anyway, it's cool, man. It's fun to drive. It really, really is. Whether it was a Raptor or a regular F-150, the EcoBoost is a fun vehicle to drive. Ford's about got it figured out, knock on wood. All right, that's Ellis Autoplex, Highway 471, Flowood, Mississippi. Always love getting to talk about those guys. I just love talking about cars, too. You know, we talk about wrestling, and we talk about a lot of football. We talk about a lot of stuff on this show. I haven't really, really dove into just how much of a car guy I am over the years. I mean, y'all know I like nice vehicles, cool vehicles, hot rods, stuff like that, mini trucks, but we really could talk more about cars than we do on this show. Let's see here. We got a couple texts on my question of the day about moving the parade. So let me pull up the Ellis Autoplex text line. And I'm going to tell you, we got some serious topics also this morning we're going to get to. Josh says, Pearl Patty Day 2027. And he said you could also call it Pearl Patty Days, D-A-Z-E, sponsored by all the local weed shops. I get it. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, I think Pearl, even if we just do it rogue, just a few of us, just say, you know what, Jake, give us a permit. Let us set up something small, like a little strip there in the middle of Trustmark Park. You know, make sure everybody's cool with it. And why don't we start it out small? Why don't we do a golf cart parade? A golf cart St. Paddy's parade next year. Or even a vehicle, your vehicles and golf carts, like a car parade. I like the golf carts like they do out there at Yogi Bear. They do is it 4th of July? One of the holidays out there at Yogi Bear Park in Tallahatchie, they do a golf cart parade. Everybody decorates their golf carts all up like Christmas lights and all this crazy stuff. I think we start like that. Start it small 1 year. And I think by year 2, We'll have all those big crews with their fancy floats. They'll be ready. I think if you did it, I'm being honest with you. I think there's enough people tired of Jackson's crap that if you did a full-blown parade, I mean, you got some big sponsors, you let like Martin's come over and set up a tent and do like Martin's at Trustmark Park and let them handle the entertainment. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box here, but I think that could be huge. I think it would be. I think people are ready to not go to Jackson. There's just a big group of people, whether y'all want to admit this or not, there's a big group of people who live in the suburbs, myself included, that just aren't going back to Jackson for this stuff. Now, I mean, I got to go a couple years ago. I got to park inside Martin's and never had to leave Martin's. I would do that again. But I just mean like to go and participate in the parade itself. There's just a lot of people who have been done dirty by Jackson. We've been told that we ain't wanted by Jackson. We was told that Wakanda could do it without us, that we weren't welcomed in Wakanda. And that's just how we feel about it. Like, hey, when somebody tells you how they feel about you, listen to them. At least they're being honest. You know, we was told that we weren't needed anymore. Y'all could do it without us. That St. Paddy's Day didn't mean nothing about Ireland no more. It's a culturally diverse event, which that means it's now a black event. That's their way of saying that this black folks event now. And that's fine. That's fine, but okay, keep that energy, dog. Don't get mad at us when we don't come back. Because you told me that this is now a black event. Culturally diverse, but same thing. It's all, that's the thing that makes me mad about when they say stuff like that. It's always been a culturally diverse event. It was never like it was a whites only event ever. But now it's like, by the way, this is a culturally diverse event. No crap. It's always been a culturally diverse event. Is that your way of telling us y'all are going to start booking T.I. and Boosie for the entertainment? Is the city of Jackson going to get into the competition of booking after parties for it now? So that when some of the culture booked their block parties the last couple of years, that's where all the hell broke loose. That's what you want to do? Death by diversity. Death by diversity. Let's check out a few of the live chats here real quick, and let's try to stay on schedule this morning with our breaks. I forgot to go to the phone call. If you want to call into the show this morning, 601-879-0002. Wait until after this next commercial break, though, because we're fixing to go to commercial. Let's see here. Little Nikki says, for the most part, I only go into J-Town for the hospitals and cancer centers. That's a sad state of affairs right there, isn't it? 2 up, 3. I can't read all that, but it says, aside from wearing green, when old Paddy's Day ever have anything to do with Ireland? Well, it's just the whole festive vibe of it, right? I think this year, too, they waited too late in the year to do it. They waited 2 weeks after St. Patrick's Day to do the parade. We went out Saturday kind of bar hopping a little bit. In the afternoon, we went by Chip's place there on at Beethoven's on the Reservoir. Met my brother-in-law and sister there to get a pizza. And then we went out to Cypress Point for their crawfish boil. Claws and clovers. They said they had been packed all day. I talked to Daryl. He said, man, it's been consistent all day long. We got there right at dark. Yeah, was it dark? Yeah, right at, no, it was sunlight. Cause I remember the way I had to park to keep the sun out of my eyes. We got there about 6 and stayed to about 10:30 or 11. Had a good time. Burnham Road, but they were packed. Man, a lot of people just aren't going to Jackson. We wore our green and stuff. I guess we were like faking like we had been to the parade. I got this pair of Adidas shoes that I ordered off their custom shop, the OG Adidas, the shell toe Adidas. They're white, but instead of the black stripes, I got the green, the Kelly green stripes. And I have one of my green FAFO shirts from a couple years ago with the regular FAFO logo. So I wore that, and my friend wore her FAFO shirt she all cut up, a green one from last year's St. Paddy's Day thing. And but we were like some of the only people in there wearing green. Like, I just thought we was all going to wear green today. Which told me not a lot of people there had been to the parade. I can count on maybe one hand out of the couple hundred people that were there that were wearing a green shirt. So, and then all the photos I've seen floating around, and unless those photos were intentional misinformation to make the parade look like there was nobody there, and they were taking it like 8 a.m. and posted later to look like they were to just be haters, which I know the guy that posted that one picture that went kind of viral from on State Street down just a little ways from Martin's and all that, just a little south of the indoor storage, the Storage Max building. But I mean, we're talking about maybe a half a block where it's usually packed at, because that's where the parade kind of starts. I don't think this guy would post that to be he's not a Jackson hater. He wouldn't have done that. It was a black dude, by the way. He wouldn't have done that to be a hater. He was being authentic. He was like, man, this parade's just getting started. They about to roll out and there ain't nobody here. And I saw several other pictures like that too. And these were, this was on Capitol Street as the car with John Horn, because he was the leader of the parade or whatever, as his car was coming down Capitol Street. Man, it was bleak. You know, I'm not sure where usually the biggest crowd is there in front of Martin's up to where they take the left on State Street. I mean, on Capitol Street right there. So it was bleak. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I have blown past my break here. Let's see here. I'm going to stay with y'all for a minute. Little Nikki says, were there any No Kings protests? MSM reporting that there were 9 in Mississippi, and I feel like that's inaccurate. You know, a buddy of mine mentioned something about I didn't even know the No Kings protests were going on this weekend until I got a text talking about there was nobody at the parade, and he goes, I guess they're all at the No Kings protest. And then I looked on the news and saw there were some big No Kings protests around the country, but I had not seen anything about I didn't even know that crap was going on this weekend. But I mean, I think we're being a little facetious here. I don't think anybody from Jackson chose the No Kings protest over the St. Paddy's parade. I really don't. Let's see here. Rebel Ray says, are the girls still showing their boobs for beads? I don't know. Sorry, I was reading the text here. All right. Let's see here. I was kind of reading y'all's text here. Sam says, what happened? Not seeing anything on TV about the event. Nothing happened. Just people didn't go to the parade. It was just a really, really bad turnout. I think it was a combination of people remember the mass shooting last year, and then a lot of the old timers just said, to hell with it, I'm not going. When they changed up the rules about being able to set up and, tailgate and stuff, which I understand why they had to do it. But on the flip side, it does run people off. Like the good folks, like, what do you mean I can't have a porta potty? Where am I supposed to pee? Let's see here. Rebel Ray also says, good morning, Clay. I'm proud to say I didn't go. I decided to stay safe. Ethics Over Faith says, stop the Epstein Zionist war now. No, keep it going, man. I'm here for forever wars. I want forever wars. I want expensive gas. I want liberals mad. I want never Trumpers mad. We got to support our brothers and sisters in Israel. Our Lord and Savior, Benjamin Netanyahu. Got to. Stop no wars. Stop no wars. Don't stop wars. Y'all know I'm being facetious, by the way. I am being facetious. Let's see here. Andrew says, I saw one on the Riverside Bridge. Oh, that was one of the protests, the No Kings. Yeah, they like the Riverside Bridge there. They love protesting over on that thing. You know, I just look at all that and just think one word to myself, Andrew, when I see these No Kings protests. Gay. Gay. Let me say it one more time. Gay. That's what I think when I see No Kings protests. It is the same people that protest out in front of the abortion clinics. It's the same people that protest Trump. It's the same people that dress up as trans Tifa. It's just the same idiots every time. And all at the end of the day, we got one word for them. Gay. All right, we're getting ready to come back from the break here. I got to shut up for a second. Boom. We're back live inside the Men's Health Women's Wellness Mississippi Studios. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Hey, real quick, man. A1 Gear and Auto for all your automotive repair and replacement needs. They got you covered right there. Highway 49 South, Florence, Mississippi. Look, they can do anything from brakes to rotors. Well, your rotors are part of your brakes. From brakes, rotors, your car running hot, they got you covered. Need an oil change, they got you covered. Man, they can do anything. Water pump, power steering pump. I'm just thinking of random things to go out here. But what they specialize in is your ring and pinion. And whether you understand how important that is or not as you're driving down the road this morning, trust me when I tell you, there's nothing cheap about working on your ring and pinion, your gears, and your front and rear end, or front or rear end. And they're the industry leader here in the area. Most other shops that work on ring and pinion send it to A1 Gear and Auto to get worked on. And they upcharge you for being the middleman and for taking it apart, putting it back together. But you can cut the middleman out. Send it up to A1 Gear and Auto yourself and let Justin and his team take care of it for you. If you've gotten a new Jeep and you don't go on and put some big wheels and tires on it and wonder why it won't get out of its own way, well, it's because you got the wrong ring and pinion in there. You got to put it in the front you got to put it in the back and the front so your four-wheel drive will work. But look, you already know all this. Swing by, check them out today. A1 Gear and Auto. All right, let's see here. Let's read a few more of your text messages. I don't want to start a new long form topic when we only got a few minutes left of this hour. So let's read a few more of your text messages over on the Ellis Autoplex text line and on the Mazda Jackson live stream. William and Brandon says, what about the amphitheater and closing off the big parking lot? Park vehicles across the street at the ball fields. Yeah, I mean, that would work. It's just and I mean this, I love the amphitheater. Like, I'm a big fan of the amphitheater. I have nothing negative to say about it at all. I'll be there a lot this upcoming concert season. But it's just, for this kind of event, it just don't have the vibe that I want. And I guess you could kind of say the same thing about, the Trustmark Park parking lot. But you really got the room there with the road that goes around it to actually do a parade. I just don't think you got the vibe and you don't have as much real estate as you think you have over there at the amphitheater to do a parade. You would actually need to use the parking lot at the ball fields. And that means you're going to have to schedule on a weekend. There ain't nothing at the ball fields. And well, that doesn't exist this time of year. Those ball fields are packed. That's what they were built for. So, you could do something, maybe do a golf cart parade or something. You could use the trails back in the back like they do for the Christmas lights, but then it's just too spread out and people should be too all over the place, because you want a smaller area where everybody's compact and on top of each other. That's why it works so well in downtown Brandon. It's narrow, it's short, everybody's piled on top of each other, but parking is a disaster. And you got a lot of businesses down there that'll be negatively affected by it being shut down and all that. Now you got some bars and restaurants that'll do great for it, and they're all about it. But you got a bunch of other businesses down there that, like, you got a Revelation Hardware down there now on Main Street. You got a grocery store on Main Street. That's what I call Highway 80 Main Street. That would be negatively affected. So I just think Pearl's got the best logistical layout for it. You could even start it out there on what's that, Old Brandon Road, by where City Hall is, where we shut it down that time when we did those car shows when we started that a few years ago. I think that would be a great place to do something. Or, because don't they already do like a golf cart parade in Pearl for Christmas? Like the way they do their Christmas parade, if my memory serves me correct. But anyway, I'm just thinking you just do it all over there at the Trustmark Park area, and you got room to grow without ever having to leave that area. I like it. I like it. You let people come and you let food trucks come and set up. You let, anybody who wants to and can professionally do it. You set some standards now, but you let a Martin's come set up and build a tent city bar. Like the beer tents at the fairgrounds. You set up a couple of those. One can be Martin's. One can be Clay Edwards Bar and Grill. You think I'm kidding? I'm all in, son. We'll have Clay's Bar and Grill. We'll have Martin's. If any businesses from Pearl want to set up, whatever, I think it would be a blast to do. You got to get some weather insurance. Man, put all that work into it, and the big storm come through. Everybody be looking at each other with the boo-boo face, be up under that tent trying to drink all that cold beer before it goes to waste. But I don't know. I think Pearl is the perfect location for it. It's centrally located right off the interstate. You got a ton of parking down there. I think that's the home run. I really do. And I think it could be done rather inexpensively till you get it up and going and get some big time sponsors. And then you charge people to go into the after parties there, the block parties. Maybe you set up some VIP parade route. There's some ways to monetize this thing while it's still making it free for the general public, and have a really good old time. Man, people love to buy those green shirts. Man, have an official shirt, do some fun stuff. I'm telling you, I can't think of the reasons why not to, other than. I know I repeat myself a lot sometimes. I do it to drive home a point. I'm about to say something important. Other than you're competing against a traditional event that already has a big established crowd. But I would just do it the week. Whenever they do theirs, do it the weekend before. Always be the first one. Do it the weekend before every year. That way, people aren't burnt out by the time they get to yours. It's the New Year's Eve versus New Year's night philosophy. When New Year's Eve falls on a Friday, which as a ball owner, you hated that. At least I did, because that Saturday night, New Year's night, was always dead compared to New Year's Eve. Because most people went out, blew it out New Year's Eve, and they didn't leave nothing left to go out New Year's night. That's why we always love to have New Year's Eve fall in the middle of the week. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show to land the plane for hour one. We got two more to go. I butchered that. I was trying to say we got 2 more hours to go. I said 3, tried to correct myself to 2, and said 4. We'll be right back, man. Y'all don't go anywhere. We got an action-packed show planned. We're going into some serious topics this morning also, such as, but not limited to, pull up my notes here. Now, this is not serious. This is something fun. I posted this question on Facebook last night, and it got a lot of reactions, so I thought we'd bring it to the show. What is an R-rated movie that your dad or mom let you watch as a kid back in the 80s that they probably shouldn't have? I got a list of the top 10 or 11 that I think I should not have been allowed to watch. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to lead off with a civil rights activist demands a probe after the KKK material was found inside the building owned by the state of Mississippi. They act like it's some damn conspiracy theory that some Klan stuff was hidden at a law enforcement office. There's no damn conspiracy. But also, a big story on my social media yesterday on Facebook was autonomous driven 18-wheelers in Mississippi. Did you know that a law was passed 2 years ago that allows autonomous 18-wheelers to be driven through Mississippi without even a human in the vehicle for oversight? Yep. I want to talk about that. The Florida Attorney General says the NFL must get rid of its DEI Rooney Rule, that it is racist and unconstitutional. And the NFL is mad that we want our racism. We want our DEI. Let's see here. I want to circle back also, now that we've had a couple of days to think about it, and revisit our conversation on the Mississippi 50-50 custody law. I got some good data and information about how this is affecting divorce rates in other states that have already implemented it, and have at least 3 years of data. We're going to make Trump derangement syndrome sufferers absolutely melt down with one of these stories here. Big Daddy Trump has done something that is going to make them lose their minds because they're not going to be able to escape it. So we got some fun stories coming up. We got 2 more hours to do all of them. Y'all don't go anywhere. I'll be right back here in just a minute for 30 seconds, and then we got to take our top of the hour 7-minute break. But I'm going to try to weave in and out with you guys, so I'm not just leaving y'all hanging this morning. Please hit the like button, hit the share button, do all that stuff. Let people know that you're watching, and let them know they can watch here on every platform. It means a lot to me, man. Please hit that share button. We'll be right back here on the Claybridge Show.
Find a shelter agent near you. Located in Ridgeland and Flora, come see me, Jamie Creel, Shelter Insurance.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Clay Edwards.
Welcome back in for about 30 seconds here for our top of the hour break. I was telling the online audience, here's some of the stories we got coming up this morning. We'll do them. We're going to start with the civil rights activist. A civil rights activist is demanding a probe after the KKK material was found inside a state building, like it's some big old conspiracy theory to keep it hidden or something. Idiots. Autonomous driven 18-wheelers in Mississippi. Did you know that we passed a law 2 years ago that allows them without a human in the truck? We got that and more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 7 minutes.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump is talking tough again about Iran, vowing harsh steps he'll take to end the war. This morning on social media, he threatened to obliterate a key oil terminal, Karg Island, and target desalination plants if Tehran doesn't agree to a peace plan and open the Strait of Hormuz immediately. CBS historian Small.
Potential invasion of Karg Island would see indefinite investment of U.S. troops, military engagement on the island, which runs pretty much antithetical to what his campaign promise in 2024 was no prolonged wars, forever wars.
2,500 U.S. Marines arrived in the region over the weekend. Lines still long at U.S. airports, but there is new hope. They'll thin out soon. TSA officers could begin receiving back pay as soon as today after an executive order from President Trump. Correspondent Jason Allen at the airport in Houston.
The wait here is about 30 minutes to an hour or so, depending on where they are. They have been moving people from one terminal to another, whichever line is shorter. That is a lot better than it has been at times over the past week.
The president ordered DHS to fund TSA pay after House Republicans rejected a Senate deal last Friday and left for vacation. Russia says one of its oil tankers reached port in Cuba this morning after President Trump said he had no problem with breaking a U.S. blockade that's led to island-wide power outages. The president predicts it won't be long until the Cuban government falls.
Within a short period of time, it's going to fail, and we will be there to help it out. We'll be there to help our great Cuban Americans out.
Cuban doctors tell the New York Times patients on ventilators have been dying because of the blockade. For the first time since 1972, NASA's begun a countdown to send astronauts to the moon. Correspondent Mark Strassman's at Kennedy Space Center.
One more sign we're getting close to liftoff here. NASA's official countdown clock begins ticking later this afternoon. And right now, everything is looking good for a Wednesday evening lunch.
Israel's top Catholic cleric will be allowed to proceed with Easter week observances in Jerusalem. CBS's Vicki Barker.
When Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzaballa, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, was barred from entering the Church of the Holy Sepulchre to celebrate Palm Sunday Mass yesterday, several Western nations objected, and Cardinal Pizzaballa himself said it was the first time in centuries such a thing had happened. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has confirmed the Patriarch will have full access to the church during this, the holiest week in the Christian calendar.
Dow futures are up 348. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real.
Local news and weather brought to you by Mississippi Energy Services. We're your fast, affordable, and friendly generator service company. MSenergy.us. MSenergy.us.
The wildfire danger may be dampened. This afternoon, a 20% chance for scattered thunderstorms with a high at 83. Tonight, mostly cloudy and 64. Tuesday's high is 83, and that afternoon storm chance is up to 50-50. With news on 103.9 WIAB, I'm Chris Davis. Rain chances this week could help with the wildfire danger that central Mississippi and some counties north of us have been experiencing. What you're hearing is a chopper from the Mississippi Forestry Commission dropping fire retardant on a more than 4,000-acre wildfire that was burning Saturday in Carroll County. That has not hurt anyone physically, but has caused plenty of damage. The Weather Service is predicting increased chances for afternoon storms that could give us the soaking that we need to keep the fire danger down. The cause of a fire at the Magnolia Park Apartments on West Capitol Sunday morning just before 9 still has not been determined. But that fire put at least 8 families out of a place to live. Firefighters report that the Red Cross is helping them out. A car explodes in a fatal wreck Sunday morning. That wreck was about 6:30 in Attala County on Attala Road 3122. A man was trapped inside the burning truck, begging for help from dispatchers with people at the scene helpless to do anything about it. And then the truck exploded. The man died at the scene from his injuries, says Attala County Coroner Sam Bell, who ID'd the man as 38-year-old Brandon Sheedy of Attala County. A 5-year-old had to be taken by helicopter to the hospital for treatment for injuries also from the crash. It is not clear yet how it happened. Mississippi's average price for gas is at $3.54, reports Gas Buddy. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
For over 15 years, A1 Gear and Auto has been your hometown specialist for your auto repair and maintenance needs. From brake repair to placement to radiators, engines, starters, alternators, heat, and AC water pumps, and more, A1 will get your vehicle back up and running and on the road and in a timely manner. A1 is one of the only shops in the metro that specializes in rear differentials, rear ends, and rings and pinions. Call today to set up an appointment, or if you got questions, at 601-939-1060. A1 Gear and Auto, your hometown vehicle specialist.
Welcome to the Clay Edwards Show. More adrenaline.
You know, it's a pretty interesting time to be alive. What's the saying? May the times you live in be interesting. We have accomplished that.
And more testosterone for your morning drive.
But when you know you've got a problem, how about tell people and be honest? What's going on?
Going to war on cancel culture and bringing the spotlight on issues and topics from around the city of Jackson.
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal, and they don't care, and everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now, and I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
You never met a white light.
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning.
Boom goes Le Dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO, the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Streaming worldwide on the Mazda of Jackson live stream at all the big platforms, as far as I can tell. We're over on Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, Rumble, Kick, Twitch. I think I about named them all there. We're just not on TikTok. I'm just making sure that they're all still working here as I do that. All right, yeah, we are live everywhere. We are live everywhere. If we ever have any problems on any of those platforms, y'all be sure to shoot me a text and let me know if you don't mind. I like to stay on top of that stuff. Real quick, man, this segment brought to you by one of our good partners, Anglin Plumbing. Dylan Anglin and his team gonna get you taken care of, guys. Whether it's new construction, a complete remodel. I mean, these guys are up in the Golden Triangle area, redoing an entire apartment complex with new plumbing. So if they can do that, if they're trusted by these major contractors to do that kind of job, they can absolutely take care of any problems you got going on at your house, any remodels, new construction. Maybe you're adding on to your house. Maybe you're converting your garage into a man cave and you need some plumbing done to get a bar in there, whatever it may be. Maybe you're converting it into a mother-in-law suite and you want to put a bathroom in there. Whatever, let them do it for you. They can take care of it for sure. They don't do just water plumbing. They do gas plumbing as well. You need any piping done for gas, running natural gas to your grill. I'm just thinking of all the different things you can do. Anyway, they can handle it for you. Water or gas, Anglin Plumbing. And of course, toilet stopped up. I mean, they do service calls as well. You know, I recommend, I wouldn't call them. I don't know. I'd call them to come and stop a toilet. I'd try to figure that out myself, but not my money. But they can do it for you. Garbage disposal, any of that stuff. Anglin Plumbing. Check them out online at Anglin, ANGLIN plumbing.com. And don't forget, they are hiring. We're going to push this and push it and push it. They're hiring. They're starting at $50,000 and up, depending on experience. So if you got a little experience, you're going to make some really good money. If you don't, you can make $50,000 a year to learn. And if you catch on, the faster you catch on, the sooner you're going to start making more money. And working outside or inside, not being stuck behind a desk all day, not being stuck sitting down. Good job, man. Good folks. I assume there's benefits and all that involved too. So reach out to Dylan at anglinplumbing.com today. All right. Let's jump into it, shall we? I should have brought this up while I was running my mouth during the break with Andrew Gosser out there. But I want to hit a story here real quick from over on WLBT about last week's big discovery where they found some KKK materials inside a government building owned by the state of Mississippi. It's a big conspiracy, y'all. It's a big conspiracy to keep all this hidden from folks. They didn't want them to know about the KKK back in the 1960s.
Were found inside a state government building this week. A staff member made the discovery as they were preparing to move out of the
old
department.
white folks, old white liberals. They must have hid it when we had a Democrat governor. Y'all think that's what happened? Maybe Ross Barnett himself went over there and he hid that. He goes, I'm gonna put this in this bottom drawer here in this box, and they'll never know it's there. That'll teach them. Man, y'all sound so stupid when it comes to this stuff. If there's just one thing that makes an entire group of people the dumbest people on earth, that just makes them lose their entire free thinking, common sense, everything, it is anything to do with the KKK and our white liberals and black folks here in Mississippi. It is like porn for them when they stumble across some new KKK propaganda. It is just amazing to me the press that this gets every time some of this nonsense happens. It really does. It's mind-boggling to me. What we'll call the racist economy, the race-based economy. If there is a way for them to bring up the civil rights era and the Klan in the modern day in some new way that they haven't been able to tell before, it is just, I mean, I wish this show went on radio sometimes and I could tell y'all exactly what I think it is to them, but we'll just call it race-based porn in the meantime. Let's go over to WLBT.com and check out this story here. And I'm going to be interrupting this video a lot to interject my opinions here. So if you want to go watch it yourself, just go over to WLBT and type in KKK in the search bar, and I'm sure it'll pop up.
And materials were found inside a state government building this week. A staff member made the discovery as they were preparing to move out of the Department of Public Safety building. Many of you now want to know how they got there in the first place.
Well, my guess is they got there because a cop or an investigative unit of some sort, which would still be a cop, was probably doing an investigation. Or I've had several people tell me they believe they got it in a traffic stop, most likely, or at a roadblock of some sort, and confiscated this stuff. That would be that or a raid of some sort. Or maybe somebody's family member died and they discovered it when cleaning up a house and they turned it over to folks because they didn't want nothing to do with it. Because, hate isn't always passed down to the next generation.
Smith speaks with a civil rights activist and brings us her reaction. Quentin?
Courtney, and she's troubled by this discovery. It includes things such as clothing KKK members wore, instructions on how to attack and harm people, along with applications to become a member. One civil rights activist says the materials are deeply disturbing, but she's even more troubled because of where they were found.
All right, well, hold on real quick. A, imagine being a civil rights activist in 2026. B, but what is troubling about it? It's not like it was being hidden so it could be worn on the weekends. It's exactly where you would want it to be, in the possession of law enforcement. There's nothing troubling about this. All that you've known, all this stuff exists. There's tons of this very type material at the Civil Rights Museum right here in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi. Like, I'm sorry, I don't see what is troubling about finding this stuff. I think it should be relieving to know that this stuff was found. Now, you should be, if this is your fear porn that you are so obsessed with, like Democrats and COVID death numbers, I would just think that you're salivating over this. Like, if you're a civil rights activist in 2026, you should be excited they found this. It's giving you something to talk about. It's giving you air to breathe. It's giving your existence oxygen.
Just to put it in archives, just to document it, no, it's not enough.
As she scrolls through the picture.
Well, what do you mean it's not enough? The video stopped on us here. She goes, just to put it in archives is not enough? What are we supposed to do with it? Go arrest somebody? I'm trying to get this video to start. Y'all bear with me here. It just froze up on me. But this is, see if I can start it. Let's try this again.
Just to put it in archives, just to document it, no, it's not enough.
As she scrolls through the picture.
All right, we're gonna reload this image here, this video real quick. I'll just keep talking in the meantime. So this is Emmett Till's cousin here, and based on how young she at least looks in this video, I can't confirm this because I will say black don't crack, and you can be black really, really young. So based on this, I'm guessing she probably never met her cousin Emmett Till. And to guys, I don't know any other way to say it.
Dozens of Ku Klux.
It was like a grift to decide that since you was Emmett Till's cousin, that you're going to be a civil rights activist for your whole life. Like, is that your job? I mean, do you have another job, or is this like your only job? I know that, but it just
discovery as locations to the activists said.
We're constantly told about this racism and all that stuff, but they just don't let it die. Like, just let it die. Can you not find another battle to fight? Yeah, I think we got it fixed here. We're going to pick back up right where we left off.
They were found.
Just to put it in archives, just to document it, no, it's not enough.
As she scrolls through the pictures for Priscilla Till,
this is a lot.
These are not just old documents.
They don't feel that this is a threat.
They're painful reminders her family knows all too well.
Many people don't have any idea it was the Ku Klux Klan that killed Emmett Till.
See, Emmett Till is her cousin. The 14-year-old was brutally beaten and killed here in Mississippi after a white woman lied and said he whistled at her.
A lot of people don't realize right before Emmett Till was murdered, the Klan had murdered a whole family. Threw him in the same river that we found Emmett Till in.
That's what makes the dozens of
now, has anybody confirmed that, by the way? Like, this is just me here. But if I'm WLBT, that's a big claim there. Can we, I'm not saying it didn't happen either, by the way. I'm just saying, can we confirm that? We're just going to let her go on and say that right before they killed him, they killed an entire family and threw him in a river. Like, I just feel like as big as that Emmett Till story's been, and this didn't happen back in the 1800s here. This happened back in what, the 1950s when Emmett Till was killed? Because the people who did it just recently died. So there should be some proof that the KKK killed an entire family. What are we calling a family, by the way? Two cousins? Or when I hear the word family, I think mom, dad, kids. That's a family. When you say family to me, they just killed an entire family and threw them in the river. I mean, do we have any evidence that happened? Or just because black lady said it about the Klan, black woman talking, shut up. That's all I'm saying. Do we have any proof that this happened?
In this small blue suitcase, so alarming. They're from the 60s and they're connected to the Ku Klux Klan. They include a notebook showing the minutes from meetings, a memo on how their harassment tactics worked, and also information about how they conducted their meetings. The discovery also shows a white hood and robe that KKK members used to wear.
By the way, I don't doubt that the Ku Klux Klan killed an entire family and threw them in the river. White Democrats are evil, evil people. And I have no doubt that that's exactly what white Democrats do to black folks today. Today. They wish they could do that and throw them in the Pearl River. I know they do. We want our Jackson back. You better stay out of Fondren.
I felt like when they found this material, the state of Mississippi immediately went to let's not talk about this and preserve it. No, we want it talked about. We want to investigate it. And I think the people within the state of Mississippi has a right to know what is in those files, who are the members.
The civil rights activist wants to know all of the names and details listed on the documents. Till admits she's also concerned that the artifacts were found inside the
names
Department.
are not listed. I read about this. The names aren't listed. There's like code names or code words for the people's names. They don't put the people's names in the ledger, from what I saw. I mean, why would you?
Of public
safety. Democrats are stupid. I know why they would, but they'd be stupid too.
Which is a state agency.
I think it's very important to investigate why was this information in a government building, and are the same people that had this information still affiliated within law enforcement and different agencies around the state of Mississippi?
Are the people affiliated still in law enforcement? She's making a big reach there, isn't she? That just because this was found in a government building, the old Highway Patrol building there, just because this was found in a government building, she's insinuating that it must have belonged to a Klansman that was also a state trooper. That's what that sounds like to me. That's a big reach that Billy Wayne Earl might keep his Klan outfit at work before he goes out and leads Klan meetings and burns crosses on Saturday nights. That's what the accusation sounds like. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I think you're an idiot if you think that this is somehow some grand conspiracy to protect the Ku Klux Klan in 2026, in 2016, in 2006, in 1996, in 1986. As far back as 1976. I don't think anybody's in the business of protecting the Ku Klux Klan at that time, from that time forward, my entire lifetime. This was, again, most likely found or confiscated in a traffic stop, or I would even suggest, as I said a few minutes ago, I bet you a family member somewhere was cleaning out grandpa's closet or attic after they passed away. They found this stuff and they turned it over to law enforcement. That's probably the most likely situation, is this was probably given to somebody to be put up and used for whatever down the road if they needed it. Somebody was probably doing the right thing and turned this over. In my mind, the right thing would have been to burn it all and be done with it. But if you erase history, you're doomed to repeat it. But they have all this stuff in the Civil Rights Museum. Are they just mad that it's not in the Civil Rights? I just don't understand what they're mad about, because they're not. This is just, like I said, this is Democrat race porn, and this is one of the grand opportunities for them to roll out their 2026 civil rights activist, somebody with the last name Till, and let them have their 5 minutes of fame about something that happened 50 years ago, if not longer. When did Emmett Till? I'm gonna do a little research on this, and during the break we're gonna try to find out if the Klan also killed a family and threw them in the river where Emmett Till was found. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB.
WYAB. Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness of Mississippi. At Women's Wellness of Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet, so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness of Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Your pool should be something you enjoy, not something you fight with. Hi, I'm Darren with Elite Pools. At Elite Pools, we do more than just service. We take care of everything your pool needs, from your routine maintenance to your full repairs, upgrades, and even complete transformations. If your pool needs a little attention or a fresh start, then Elite Pools can bring it back to life. Visit Elite Pools online at elitepoolsms.com. That's elitepoolsms.com. Or give us a call. At Elite Pools, we keep you swimming.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
Here at Lake and Glass and Tint, we've become well known for two things: window tint and windshields. Now, when it comes to window tint, you already know that we're the go-to for home, car, and office. And as always, we offer free consultations. So if you're in the need of window tint or windshields, give us a call, 601-946-1000. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram or at lakeandglassandtint.com. Lake and Glass and Tint, where quality matters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name with locations in Flowood and Cross.
All right, so I just did research, and we was right. She was wrong. She made a false accusation. We're going to come back with the evidence here on the other side of the break. Y'all don't go anywhere. Just a couple more minutes. WLBT needs to be accountable for allowing somebody to get on their damn air and just straight up lie. Like, again, we've reached this point where you're just not even allowed to question it. Not even allowed to question it. It's like, why won't racism go away? When we just allow people to constantly tell these damn lies. Now, the Emmett Till murder was terrible. We can all agree on it. I don't give a damn whether he whistled at a white woman or not. That was a terrible, terrible crime. And those men should have been convicted of that crime. But to sit here 60 years later, it was 1955, 65, 70 years, 60 years later, whatever the fuck it was, 61 years later, to sit here and still act like this happened last week and that no changes have been made in Mississippi is just disrespectful to everybody who's gone above and beyond for change. Man, it pisses me off. Pisses me off that we sit here and allow this nonsense to still fester. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. I know you could hear me ranting and raving through the intro there because, of course, I was right. She was wrong. And we're going to get to that here in just a second. I tell you what, let's just continue on. Let's just pick up where we left off there. During the break, I searched just real simple, went over to Grok, by far the best AI out there. You can actually ask it sensitive racial topics and it not act stupid and pretend that we're not allowed to discuss this. So thank you to everybody who texted in on the Ellis Autoplex text line with a little bit of information. So Emmett Till was abducted on August 28th, 1955, and his body was found in the Tallahatchie River on August 31st, 1955. So just for whenever I ask AI a question and we come back to the show with that information, I like to tell y'all exactly how I asked the question because it's very important to understand context. So I just simply asked, I said, is there any evidence? Because the Till's cousin is suggesting that many people don't know this, but a week before, the KKK killed a white family. The KKK killed Till, And I don't know if we know that to be a fact. We're going to ask if the two guys that killed him were KKK here in a second. Safe to assume, if nothing else, they had KKK like tendencies for sure. They was racist, and if you want to call them Klan, fine, whatever. But so the question I asked was, is there any evidence of the KKK murdering another black family and throwing them in the same river a week prior to Till's murder? And it says, no, there is no credible evidence of the KKK or anyone else murdering another black family and throwing their bodies into the Tallahatchie River a week before Till's murder. And we're gonna broaden that question here in just a second to any time ever here in just a second. But it says a quick facts. Emmett Till was abducted. We just told you when he was abducted. Extensive historical records, court documents, FBI files, news reports from the same time, and later investigations, including the 2004 to 2008 DOJ reexamination, make no mention of similar incidents involving another black family in that river in mid to late August 1955. The Tallahatchie River was site of multiple lynchings and bodies being dumped during the Jim Crow era, but nothing matching specific timing and details of black family a week prior to Till's appeals in any verification source. This claim sometimes circulates as a rumor or exaggeration in online discussions about Emmett Till's case, but it is not supported by historical documentation. The focus of all contemporary reporting and later scholarship remains solely on Till's murder. That's a weird use of the word scholarship. It says, if you have a specific source, blah, blah, blah. So let's ask about confirmed. Are there any other confirmed black families being murdered and thrown into that river within 2 years of Till's murder? It matters. Facts matter when it comes to this stuff. We have allowed this narrative to go on for so long and just nobody questions it. You're a racist for questioning it. If somebody black tells you something racist happened, damn it, it happened, and you just believe it. Well, what if I just want to understand it better? I don't mind hating racist. I don't mind being mad about violent crimes. I wish all black people would quit dying and being murdered. I wish all white people would quit being murdered. I wish all racists would stop being racist. But I don't think we got to get out here and make up things that didn't happen to oversell the sizzle and keep people angry. Now you're going to say, well, Clay, what about all the ones that didn't get reported? Facts matter. And I believe, we're talking about the 1950s. I understand a lot of bad things happen here. We don't deny that. We do not deny that Mississippi was the melting pot for a lot of this stuff. But dang, man, do we have to make up lies? So here's what I asked it. Y'all heard me type it in there. I clearly said, are there any confirmed black families being murdered and thrown into that river within, I meant to type 2 years. I said within 2 of Till's murder. It says there are no confirmed cases of other black families or any other victims being murdered and thrown into the Tallahatchie River within days or weeks. Let me fix my question here because I don't want, I said 2 years. I forgot to type the word years. So let's try this one more time. We're going to get something similar to the same answer. And again, if it says yes, that's fine too. I just want to know because I think WLBT needs to do a retraction here. And they need to come out and say, last week on our airwaves, a woman lied about a pretty damn serious accusation. I know it's easy to hate the Klan, but do we have to make up any extra lies? They did enough bad stuff. Do we have to make lies up too? What makes her lie any different than the white woman allegedly lying about Emmett Till whistling at her? You don't think telling lies like this or similar can still get people killed today? I mean, that woman was haunted till the day she died a couple years ago. I mean, was haunted and stalked by angry black people and white liberals till the day she died. And I'm not saying she didn't deserve that, but my point is this kind of stuff drives people crazy. I mean, I'm seeing it over in Rankin County right now with a couple idiots that have goon squad derangement syndrome. I mean, the myth of the goon squad has grown well beyond anything them boys ever did. So here's what it says when I expand my search to 2 years. Again, no, there is no credible evidence of the KKK or anyone else murdering another black family and throwing their bodies into the Tallahatchie River. So let's see here. We've got okay, sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. Here's what it says. It says no, still no. There are no confirmed cases of other black families or even multiple black individuals being murdered and thrown into the Tallahatchie River within 2 years of Till's murder. Historical records show Emmett Till's case, abducted in August 28th, found on August 31st, 1955, is by far the most documented incident involving a body dumped in the Tallahatchie River. Extensive research, including a contemporary 1955 news report, FBI investigations in both 55 and the 2004 to 2006 cold case review, books, academic studies, and equal justice initiatives lynching database, and of course, local Mississippi historical records show no verified incidents of an entire black family or even multiple victims at once being murdered and disposed of into the Tallahatchie River between 1953 and 1957. So we took a 4-year window, 2 years before and 2 years after. And the lady just bold-faced told a lie on WLBT. Some related violence. It says there were other racially motivated killings in Mississippi in 1955, a very violent year during the early civil rights era, including Lamar Smith on August 13th, 1955. He was a black voting rights activist shot dead in broad daylight on the courthouse lawn in Brookhaven. See, I've never heard about that one. George Lee, May 1955, a black minister and voting rights activist shot and killed in Belzona. And Clinton Melton, November 1955, black man killed a few months after Till. His killer was acquitted. However, none of these victims were thrown into the Tallahatchie River, and none involved an entire family. The Tallahatchie River was used to dispose of bodies during the Jim Crow era, a known tactic to hide evidence, but no other confirmed family murders matching the time frame and method have been documented. So, again, splitting hairs here. You know, I hate that this woman's cousin was murdered the way he was, Emmett Till. It's terrible, but it's 2026. Y'all have drained every bit of blood money you can get from that turnip at this point. I don't know that there's anything else to get out of Emmett Till's death in 2026 that ain't already been gotten out of it. Or frankly, anything the Klan did in that era. We're well aware that the Klan were the original domestic terrorist group. We know. We know they were the Antifa before Antifa. They were the BLM before BLM. Let's take a break and shift gears when we come back. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. We're here till 10 o'clock this morning. So if you like it, we got a lot more of it. If you don't, you're going to be miserable for the next hour and a half. I'll be right back. I want to check something else too, because there's a whole nother myth, in my opinion, and that's just how many people that we're aware of the Klan killing. Now, I'm not going to go back into the 1800s here, but let's just call it the modern era like post invention of electricity and not cable TV, but post, let's say post World War One. How about that? Let's go over here and ask Grok, how many recorded murders are the Klan can be accounted for by the Klan? Let's see here. How many known and reported I can't spell and talk at the same time, so I just got to shut up for just a second. So I just asked it, how many known and reported murders were committed by the KKK in Mississippi since the 1920s? Now, we can agree that this is not going to be accurate because there's going to be just a bunch of racists that killed black people that never got charged. Those people went up missing and were never found. So we're just not going to know. This is not going to be accurate, but I just kind of want to get an idea of the known ones, because we're told it's just, it was just genocide of African Americans in Mississippi by the Klan during this era. So I'm just kind of curious what the number is, and I'm not looking at the screen right now. I'm going to bet you that the number that it shows is less than 100 confirmed KKK killings. And I'm not trying to tote water for the KKK by no means. I just think that stuff like this has a way of being over exaggerated through the years. And there's a lot of people who make a lot of money grifting off of this. And that's really what I'm talking about more than anything here. All right. So I was way wrong. So it says Mississippi led the nation in racial terror lynchings. Overall, there's documented 654 black victims in Mississippi from 1877 to 1950. All right, so that goes the 1877 to 1950 is almost 100 years. I didn't really want that much information because there's no real way of knowing that. But it says during the civil rights era, this is the one I'm most interested in, the civil rights era of 1954 to 1968, the White Knights of the KKK, the most violent faction in Mississippi, were responsible for dozens of murders, bombings, and assaults. So dozens is more in line with what I was thinking. It says many killings were prosecuted at the time were never prosecuted at the time due to all white jurors and local law enforcement. I got to check something here real quick. Don't want to come back talking about this on air. We got about 30 seconds left here. It says many killings were never prosecuted at the time due to all white jurors and local law enforcement complicity. Some cases were only solved decades later, such as Medgar Evers in the 1994 Mississippi burning conspiracy and Medgar Evers in 94 and the Mississippi burning conspirators in 2005. Bottom line, we can confirm dozens of KKK murders in Mississippi since the 1920s. So yeah, I was right. Less than 100 since the 1920s. Again, all evil, all bad should never happen. But it's not the thousands. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Oh, let's see here, guys. Let's see here. Davini Rental and Equipment. It's their Kubota Orange Days. They're going on now through June 30th. That's right. Now through June 30th. Take advantage of Kubota Orange Days at Davini Rentals and Supply. Davini Rental and Supply, featuring big savings, including 0% financing or thousands off select tractors, mowers, and equipment. That's huge, man. 0% or take the big rebate, whichever one works best for you. And if you're paying cash money millionaires, you're paying cash, take that rebate, man. If you're not, take the 0%. Man, the older I get, the more I really, really understand APR, annual percentage rate. And the lower you can get that number, the better you are. Look, from tractors to zero-turn mowers and excavators, skid steers, Davini offers a full lineup of high-performance equipment to handle any job, big or small. Serving Mississippi for over 50 years, Davini's knowledgeable team is committed to helping you find the right equipment with dependable service and support. Davini Rental and Equipment is located in Madison on Highway 51 near Gluckstadt, and Jackson at Spring Ridge Road just south of I-20. If you're heading down 20, take Spring Ridge at Clinton, take you a left, and you will run into it right before you get to Highway 18. It's going to be on your right down there. All right, you can also check them out online, DaviniEquipment.com. That's DEVINEY, DaviniEquipment.com. Take advantage now. Kubota Orange Days from now to June 30th. All right. During the break there, we did a little dive, a deeper dive into history of the KKK in Mississippi, and I was curious, like, just how many murders we could 100% confirm and tie to the KKK of black men and women and children. And I was curious, like, from the 1920s upward, what I call the modern era, and it answered it in two ways. It went back all the way to 1877 to 1950. There were 654 documented black victims in Mississippi from 1877 to 1950 that were victims of racial terror lynching. So we're gonna give credit for that to the KKK. Now, what I call the modern era would be the civil rights era, and this is from the 1920s up through let's see here. It says, let me just read it all to you. It says, during the civil rights era, 1954 to 1968, the White Knights of the KKK, which is the uniforms they just found, says the most violent Klan faction in Mississippi were responsible for dozens of murders, bombings, and assaults. Many killings were never prosecuted at the time due to the all-white juries and local law enforcement complicity. Some cases were only solved decades later, such as Medgar Evers in 1994, with Byron Della Beckwith, as we know, and then the Mississippi Burning conspirators in 2005. It says, bottom line, while we can confirm dozens of KKK murders in Mississippi since the 1920s, with the vast majority occurring in the 1950s and 60s, the true number is likely significantly higher due to unreported or unproven cases. The Klan strategy often relied on terror that didn't always result in a body being found or linked back to them. And that's what I discussed this during the break, and that's kind of what I said was, I mean, look, all time, you could probably say at least 1,000 all time. I mean, going back to from when slavery ended to, and that don't even count all the murders during slavery. Terrible, terrible, evil white Democrat slave owners just did atrocious things to their slaves. And, it's just terrible. And then when the real Klan kind of came about, like, when was the Klan formed? Let's see here. What year was KKK formed? Like, I know I loosely, I think it was the 1920s, wasn't it? I loosely know some of this. I think I'm not obsessed with this like some people, so I actually have to Google. Okay, so the KKK was a little earlier than that. The KKK was formed in late 1865, specifically on Christmas Eve, 1865, in Pulaski, Tennessee. 6 former Confederate Army officers, veterans, often called the Immortal Six. The original purpose, it started as a social club for bored ex-Confederate soldiers after the Civil War. The name Ku Klux, came from the Greek word kuklos, meaning circle. Within a year or two, the group rapidly evolved into a violent white supremacist terrorist organization aimed at resisting Reconstruction, intimidating freed black people, and restoring white democratic control in the South. Well, they got that in Jackson still, don't they? Democrat control. That explains a lot. Important note on the versions of the KKK. The first Klan, 1865 to 1870, is the original one, founded in 1865. The second Klan, 1915 to 1940s, revived in 1915 on Stone Mountain, Georgia, and became much larger and more widespread. And the third Klan, 1950s to present, the modern iterations that appeared during the Civil Rights era. When people say KKK was formed, they almost always mean original founding in 1865. All right, so putting a button on this topic here. We got about 2 more minutes we need to burn. You have people like Till's cousin there, and I'm not even saying she knows she's lying. She probably believes that there was a whole nother black family murdered. Because, man, I watch a lot of videos about stuff online. I watch a lot of race-related stuff. My algorithm sends me this stuff. With the exception of Kim Wade and a couple other like black folks that I know, you will see these lies get told about racial violence to a group of black people. And man, never, not one time in watching any of these conversations or videos or any of this stuff, have you ever seen one of them push back and say, no, man, you sure that happened? You sure that happened? I don't think that happened. Like there's no lie or urban legend. Maybe that's a better way to put it. There's no urban legend they won't believe when it involves racism against black people. But you try to convince them that poor little Ukrainian girl was murdered on that train in Charlotte by that black guy, that was because she was white. What did she do to him? See, that's what y'all ain't seeing. Y'all only seeing the video where he killed her, but what did she do to him? Like they just refuse to believe that they don't have the trademark on racism. They ain't got the market cornered. Like racism does happen to other races. And that's where people are just tired. That's where people are really over having this conversation or really giving a damn anymore about the bad things that happen to just black people. Because it's happening to everybody, but we're supposed to pretend it's not. And a lot of it's happening to people at the hands of black people. But we're supposed to pretend that ain't happening. No, that don't matter because racism, because slavery, because civil rights. But the people who were doing the most racist, violent stuff in that era, A, are all dead now. And B, the generations that followed after, like mine, Gen X, we put in so much work and effort to erase racism. And we've talked about it on the show ad nauseum, but for some reason, in the mid 2000s, Black America, I don't know if it's because the white liberals told them to or what, Obama, whatever, decided to take a big old shot of adrenaline, like Nikki Sixx being brought back to life in the Dirt movie about Motley Crue in the back of that ambulance when he had that drug overdose. Not one big shot of testosterone, I mean, not testosterone, adrenaline, but like 2 or 3 big shots of adrenaline to kickstart his heart. They decided to bring back racism in America. And the country's gone to hell in a handbasket ever since. And they poo-pooed all over the good folks who fought for decades trying to bury the past of our ancestors or the racists that came before us or whatever you want to call it. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show. We got a whole nother hour to go this morning on WYAB. So that's my gripe about all this. That's why I get up here and I say these things, is because for years and years and years, we grew up, actively fighting, against the sins of our fathers. And my parents were not racist, are not racist by no stretch. We never discussed race in my house It was never a topic. I never heard anything, not a single negative thing said about black people in my house. We were not taught that in my house. But, you know, when I just say the sins of our fathers, you know, that means our forefathers, the people that came before us, not my literal father. Like I said, as a Gen Xer, we were just we just didn't see race. We truly didn't. I mean, I knew you were black. I mean, obviously, I have eyes. I see color. I hate when people say I don't see color. I see color. We all see color. You know, but I had more black friends than white friends growing up. I know this sounds corny saying it now, but you know, if we're all supposed to be these racist white people, why did I have posters of so many black athletes on my wall in my house, idolizing these black men? If I'm a racist, why would I have posters up idolizing black men? Why would I listen to so much music of black artists? Like, why would I have my black friends come spend the night with me? I go spend the night with them. We played ball together. We did everything together. Why would a racist do those things? He's like, they can't circle that square. There's everybody's racist. Everything's racist. But it's not. No, we're not. And that's why I've pushed back so hard. They get so mad at me for doing this. They call me a racist for not agreeing that everything's racist. I was been fed up with it. I didn't really plan on talking about this morning. I had a whole nother set of things I wanted to talk about, but I didn't plan on that civil rights story eating up as much real estate as it ate up. But when she made that comment about just a week prior, there was a whole black family thrown in this river, and WLBT just rolls with it. Not a single fact check at all. But you let Donald Trump say something about the 2020 election, but they always put a little note in there. There's no credible evidence that says the 2020 election was stolen. This is a lie, misinformation, blah, 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 blah. But you let a black woman claim some racism happened. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, sure did. Like, nobody questions it. Let's take a break. I got to get set up for hour 3. Hold on. Roderick says, this is what I'm talking about. Like Roderick says, you find some of the weirdest shit to talk about. We don't sit around and talk about racism. Shit, y'all don't. Shit, you don't. Shit, you don't. All right. Anyway, be back in a minute. Got to get set up for hour 3. We got Andrew Gosser coming to sit in with me.
Two flagpole construction available. You can check it out at CompleteFlags.com. A complete flag source, I-55 North in Jackson.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. Why is Rita Jensen the type of real estate professional you are looking for?
As a mortgage professional, I look for making transactions easier, and Rita Jensen with Rematch Connection is a prime example of that. Her attention to detail, her strong communication skills really help us as a mortgage company make everything smooth from start contract to close. She helps me.
RitaJensen.net.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Clay Edwards Show.
Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. I was looking at the wrong timer there. We got about 10 seconds here. We'll be right back with hour 3 of the Clay Edwards Show this morning on 103.9 WYAB. I got Andrew Gosser coming to sit in with me. We got some great topics to hit. Be right back.
City of Jackson. I feel like Jackson, Mississippi. No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal. And they don't care. And everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now. And I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
You never met a motherfucker. Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning podcaster Clay and
Boom goes the dynamite. It's hour 3. That's right. 3 times. Hour 3 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Got my buddy, my wingman, Mr. Andrew Gosser here in the studio with me. Andrew hosts the Andrew Gosser Show. Going on 103.9 right here every mighty 10 to noon. 10 to noon, you can hear Andrew right here on these very airwaves. Talking about very similar stuff that we talk about here on the Clay Edwards Show, but he takes a little deeper dive into topics than I do sometimes. I look at a lot of stuff at a 30,000 foot view where Andrew gets down on the ground level and really digs into them. We took a deep dive this morning, though. We did take a deep dive this morning on this Ku Klux Klan topic and just the mythology of the Klan at this point, too. You know, they get blamed, Andrew, for a lot, as they're evil. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything Klan related here, but they also, through history and through tales and urban legends and myths, you know how a story can grow and grow and grow. They've also been blamed and accused of a lot of things that frankly just never happened either. And they're also a good cover up for a lot of things. I mean, we see it now with like black preachers and stuff who have vandalized their own church and say the Klan did it. You think back in the 1920s and 30s, you didn't have black on black crime? They got blamed on the Klan? Absolutely.
It had to
have. And frankly, they'd have been silly not to have. You're trying to cover up a crime to have blamed it on who's the hate group that's running around here killing a lot of folks. Oh yeah, they did it.
False flags are everywhere.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Nope,
nothing new. But we played a clip of Emmett Till's. The fact that we're still giving anybody with Till any, but we're knocking the dust off of the Tills anytime anything Klan related comes up. It's like, man, just let it go. Let it go. That is history museum stuff at this point. But the WLBT let this lady get on there and just tell a damn lie the other day. Lied and said, Emmett Till got killed by the Klan, and then which I'm not even 100% sure he got killed by the Klan. I meant to look that up a second ago, but they said she goes, a lot of people don't know this, but just a week before, the Klan killed an entire family right there and threw them in that same river. Zero evidence that any family or even group of black folks were murdered. I went back well beyond a week. I went 2 years before and 2 years after. No evidence. I mean, I demand a retraction from WLBT.
That's the problem with people who forget their history, are doomed to repeat it. And what happens is history doesn't get recorded accurately. It's changed just a little bit, Clay, in the moment. And everybody thinks that that's where it's supposed to be. And that's how it actually happened. But in reality, that's not what happened. And now you get false information injected into something that truly did happen. And the next thing you know, it gets polluted. The actual recounting of the history gets polluted, and it's not accurate representation of what happened anymore, which is why so many schools and so many civilizations eventually crumble and fall, because they don't actually record their history and teach it. They allow emotions and feelings to actually get in front of their facts. And it's a bad thing. What's happening right now? It's happening right now.
That's why that shirt is so popular. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yep.
And people are like, oh, yes, they do. Yet my feelings do matter. No, they don't.
Go tell that to a 18-year-old. It's all about the feels.
It is. Man, Andrew, we binge watched this documentary, I guess you call it a reality show more so, on HBO Max. Guys, this is great if y'all haven't watched it. It's called Neighbors. It's six episodes. It's one season. They last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, just however long it takes to tell each story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's neighbors that are battling each other.
Ooh.
And I don't mean like in a competition. I mean, it's like neighbors who hate each other.
Hatfield and McCoy's.
Yeah, that type stuff. And they're all over America, different sets of neighbors. Just some of them just purebred white trash. There are 2 sets of black neighbors in it. And of course, they can't help themselves. They had to counter the people they're battling with. Of course, it's just being racist Trump supporters. Can be no other reason. There can be no other reason that those neighbors are upset with their black neighbors. But I digress.
Yep.
Anyway, but it's really good. If y'all haven't watched this, y'all really need to go. You don't have to watch all the episodes. Don't interconnect in no way. You can watch number 6 first, or number 2 first, or 3 or 1 or whatever. You can watch just one. Every episode begins and ends. The story from beginning to end at the end of every episode. So it's just easy to digest.
Yep.
And like I said, we ended up binge watching the whole dang thing, which didn't take but 3 hours last night, and it really entertaining. Just if you just want to break away from all of this kind of stuff, just want to check out for a little bit. But like me, you just don't like fiction. It's an easily digestible, highly entertaining white trash crap show. It's the best way I can put it. And it's really good. They got this old man who's like in his 70s, who you've probably seen him before online. He likes to do everything in a yellow thong.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Work
Thank
ride
God.
his bike, run. He does like triathletes, triathlons. Thank you. I was like, I can't quite get that word out. He does triathlons in his thong. And so his neighbors hate him. He's out in San Diego. His neighbors absolutely hate him. And he's famous for being like the oldest person to run 1,000,000 miles. And
a million miles?
That's what he claims, 1,000,000 mile man. There's been stories about him over the years before he turned into a weirdo.
Wow.
But yeah, it's wild. His name's Donnie. I think that's what his name is. Danny is his name.
Man, I'm not sure I want to see a 70-year-old man running around in a banana hammock.
He has an OnlyFans page too.
OnlyFans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, do not watch with your children. You see the full Monty. You see his wee in this. So just FYI, don't watch the episode with Danny with the kids.
Nope. Well, don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just good. There's no rhyme or reason to be telling you that. I had it in my notes here. I wanted to make sure to kind of tell people something they could watch that they would enjoy.
But don't watch the Danny one.
Don't watch Danny with your kids.
No.
But it is the best episode too. But just again, the kids don't need to see that.
No.
And if you don't want your wife seeing another man's junk, which ain't a whole lot there to see at 71 years old, but he thinks it is. Made me feel good about myself.
My goodness. No, I don't need, we don't
He was trying to do the helicopter thing,
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was trying to do the helicopter, and it just didn't. It was a crash landing.
Dude, that's just a visual I just don't need in my brain. I just don't want it. No want it. We didn't watch anything like that this weekend. We ended up going and doing a lot of farm work. Farm's doing good. And it was much more of a laid back family, kind of just cook for the week kind of thing and chill out and have some fun that way. I took it easy. These long weekends, really enjoyable with the Sweet Bee and with the Toots. Toots is working now.
Tell people who the Toots are. You have nicknames for all your family members. Tell people.
Sweet Bee's my wife, and Toots McCracken. She doesn't want me to use her real name on the air, so I just call her Toots McCracken. She's got a job now. It's wonderful.
Who is Toots?
My daughter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry if I didn't say that. Toots McCracken's my daughter, and she's 17, got a vehicle, and is starting to enter the labor force, and she's enjoying work, which is great. You want kids to be able to do that. We watched a couple documentaries on the pros and cons of college, and after watching the AI video podcast that you sent me down a rabbit hole with specifically focusing on education and how AI education is rapidly overtaking college education.
Yeah, it has for me. I call it two things. I spoke about commuter college this morning.
Yep.
Where use the time in your vehicle as an opportunity to listen to educational stuff. Of course, once you've digested all of the clay we're showing Andrew Gosser show and WYB programming from top to bottom that you can.
That's right.
Do commuter college. Pick you a book and an audio book, or listen to a podcast about where you learn about something.
Yep. And we live in a day and age where you can always be learning something, whether you're driving and listening to an audiobook or a podcast, whether you're at home cooking, you have something on, you always got the radio going, or actually spending time in a real book. And we're actually conducting a experiment at the house. We're all listening to an audiobook, but we're also reading a different book to see what we have better retention on.
This is going to be the reading.
We've already decided that after one night of doing that. And the book's not big. I think it's 88 pages.
I listen to these podcasts now, like the one I
Mhm.
sent you. I will listen to that 4 or 5 times
You almost have to.
before it to die. A, it's a whole lot of information.
Yep.
And B, to really digest it and to go back and hear what I thought I heard and then do some independent research on what I thought I heard. Or not what I thought I heard, but what I heard.
You have to do the independent research. How are you doing your independent research? Are you grokking it?
Grok.
Yep. I was reading this weekend that Google is rapidly losing their market share of search engine. People are now turning to either ChatGPT, Grok, OpenAI, whatever it is.
Well, this morning alone here on the show, I've been using Grok in live time now. It's where I used to would have Googled it.
Yep. Well, Google,
Google ain't going to give me truthful answers about the Ku Klux Klan either.
That is the point that I was about to make, is that Google is biased. It's taken honest search engine results and manipulated it and scored every hit and racked and stacked it in what it wants you to think. And then you've got the Google AI, which allows Gemini, which what they want you to think. And the great thing about it is that we still have some democracy with AI, whether you go with Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever. But we've got to be careful, because if you remember, just last year, Google's AI went off the chain and made George Washington black, and all of our history went from Anglo-Saxon Americans to African Americans leading the Civil War or the Revolutionary War. And it did that. They had to take the pictures down and everything. And so we got to be careful when we're sourcing our stuff.
So one thing I had meant to look up during my conversation about the Emmett Till murder, I was fact checking his cousin there. She goes, she said that it was confirmed that Emmett Till was also murdered by the Ku Klux Klan. And I think it's easy to believe, 2 white racists, murder a guy, a black guy in 1950s Mississippi. Well, they must be Klan, right? Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. It says, I asked Grok, was Emmett Till's killers confirmed KKK members? I should have said were, but whatever. It says, no, Emmett Till's killers were not confirmed members of the Ku Klux Klan. It says both men were arrested, tried, and acquitted by an all-white jury in Sumner, Mississippi in September of 1955. They later confessed to the murders in a paid interview with Look magazine. That's so weird. It says the KKK connection. There is no credible evidence that Roy Bryant or J.W. Milam were formal card-carrying members of the Klan. They were not affiliated with the White Knights of the KKK, the most violent Klan group. And the murder was a personal act of racial violence triggered by Carol Bryant's accusation that Till had whistled at her. Important context, while the killers themselves were not proven KKK members, the broader atmosphere in 1955, Mississippi was heavily influenced by Klan and white supremacy. So just, man, facts matter.
They absolutely do. And the thing about it is that,
and again, the KKK, terrible, horrible organization. They're as bad as the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda, the Antifa, Trans-Tifa, BLM, KKK. They're all terrible, terrible, horrible. The Southern Poverty Law Center, the ACLU. These are all tremendously detrimental terrorist groups here in this country and abroad. And I'm not sugarcoating it for any of them.
Nope.
But I still prefer my facts to be right, not to be based on feelings and emotion.
Well, that's the worst thing about it is you've got these organizations, the Southern Poverty Law Center. It naturally draws not necessarily to facts, but feelings, and people get emotional over stuff. And you see it everywhere you go. People get emotionally amped up. All of a sudden, logic goes whoop, straight out the window. And now we're making not the best decisions based on what we're feeling and not actually what we're seeing. And it's having a real impact. And we're seeing it today. We're actually absolutely, and I know I'm kind of pivoting here, but we're absolutely kicking butt over in Iran and taking care of those targets. But if you were to look at our news media and the media coverage around the world, you'd think we're getting slaughtered, and we're not. But it's not what we want to feel. It's not what the image we want to project. and it's having an impact. And the future generations are going to have it a lot harder than Gen X. One of the things we did this week, and I'm going to talk about it on my show, is we did the Hot Ones challenge. We got the 10 sauces and everything. And my daughter comes up to me. She goes, "What a Gen X thing to do. Go over to your friend's house with a bunch of people, eat wings, drink cocktails, listen to 80s music, and just hang out."
I watched it. I fell asleep I got up Sunday morning, got on the couch, and fell back asleep watching some YouTube stuff.
Yep.
And I woke up to a documentary from Business Insider about hot sauce in America and the hot sauce business.
Yep.
And it took a dive into the Hot Ones show, and then the guy that supplies the hot sauces,
Smoking Ed Curry.
Yeah, he has his own little store.
Yep.
And he does his own like YouTube version of Hot Ones from inside the store.
Yep.
And I just thought that was really cool. Let's take a break real quick. We'll be right back with Andrew Gosser on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB.
.1039 WYAB.
Have a large fleet of vehicles? Looking for somewhere to provide routine maintenance? Tired of waiting on an appointment? Ken here with Rapid Oil Change. We accept most local and national fleets as well as 30-day in-house accounts with no appointment needed. We offer maintenance packages to fit any need. Oil changes, wipers, tires, car washes, and more. Have a diesel? No sweat. We carry diesel exhaust fluid and diesel fuel filters. With over 40 years of experience, Rapid Oil is the right choice for your fleet. Stop in today and let us keep your fleet ready and on the road.
Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, priced to fit your budget. Stop by Pops Auto Sales today, where fair prices and superior service leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Or go to popsautosalesllc.com and browse our inventory and get approved for zero down financing with approved credit, with service contracts and warranties available. And guys, our truck inventory is one of the largest for any independent dealer, period. Pops Auto Sales, Highway 49 in Florence.
Attention citizens, the call is going out across all of 103.9 WYAB. Each Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m., General Bob Swap Shop summons all able-bodied listeners to buy, sell, and trade. Sign up by calling the phone line and joining the campaign where your stuff becomes the hero of the hour. No shillings, no coins, no enlistment fees of any kind to peddle your personal items. Report for duty each Tuesday at 9 a.m. right here on 103.9 WYAB. General Bob needs you and your stuff.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50 plus tequilas, 30 plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits, right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
This is Demario Davis from the New Orleans Saints.
As a Brandon, Mississippi native, I've seen the positive effects Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge has across the state. Help us restore broken families and fight against addiction by donating an unneeded vehicle, even if it doesn't run. Mercy House will pick it up for you. All paperwork is handled and you receive a tax deduction. Call 601-572-7296 or visit vehicledonationsms.com.
Thank you for helping us get our daddies back.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This.
Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. This segment brought to you by our friends over at, man, how about my friends right there at Mazda of Jackson? Man, good folks. Let me pull this up here. This is the last day or so. Is there a March 31st?
I think there is.
Is there a March 31st? Is tomorrow the 1st or the 31st?
31st.
Yeah,
I'm looking
tomorrow's
right at
31st. So you got today and tomorrow to take advantage of these March deals at Mazda of Jackson. Look, they got 1.9% financing on for 63 months on remaining 2025 CX-5s. And hey, guys, they don't stop with the 2025s. You can take advantage of that same 1.9 for 63 months on 2026 CX-90s. And guys, if you are considering any mid-size to large SUV, your Pathfinders, your Forerunners, any of those, I implore you to check out the CX-90 before you pull the trigger on a Trailblazer, a Blazer, any of those stuff, Ford Explorer. Consider the CX-90 before you do that. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to be like, dang, I didn't know this. I was not aware that this thing looked this good and is this nice. You can also do the CX-50 or the CX-70 and, of course, the Mazda 3 Zoom with approved credit, of course. Also, you're going to get a free year of maintenance and you're going to be able to support a great locally owned business. Stop by, see them today, MazdaJackson.com or in person, 55 Briarwood Drive, right over there by Cowboy Maloney's Electric City. You know where it's at. Mazda of Jackson. Good folks, man. Really, really good folks. All right. Let's see here, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Let's pivot a little bit, man. I actually did a lot of show prep last night.
Okay.
And would like to use some of it if you don't mind today. Let's see here. Man, Big Daddy Trump gonna make these TDS sufferers cry bigly. Oh, Andrew, they're not going to like it. And there's going to be one of the times that if they try to do anything to protest it, they're going to literally be burning money.
Oh, I've heard about this.
You know what this is? Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The TDS sufferers going to lose their minds in a move that is rewriting American financial history. Andrew, the U.S. Treasury has confirmed President Donald Trump's signature will begin appearing on U.S. paper currency starting this summer, marking the first time ever a sitting president's signature has been printed on American money. I love it. I love it, man. These changes end a tradition that dates all the way back to 1861, where U.S. bills have always carried the signature of the Treasury Secretary and the U.S. Treasurer, not the president. But old Trump don't like what's his name, does he? Over the Treasury, does he?
Nope.
Under the new plan, Trump's signature will replace the U.S. Treasurer's signature entirely, breaking a 165-year precedent. The first bills impacted will be the new $100 notes, expected to begin printing in June 2026, with additional denominations rolling out in the months after. Oh, I can't wait. Start calling that's them Trump notes.
Yep.
That's them Trump notes right there. I love it. I love that it's $100 bills too, because you got to see all the culture in their videos throwing money. And I need some of those new Trump notes. I'm gonna get one framed, I think. Yeah. You know, Obama's mad as hell. He didn't think of this.
Yep. And not only that, but once he's no longer president, the next president is going to come over and we're going to have his name signature on all that.
100%. This is going to start a new trend.
And it's going to make those Trump notes even more valuable as time goes on, because it's going to be the first ones that he was the first president who actually changed it.
Yep.
And
Republican president, I bet you they keep it Trump's name on there, but the second the Democrat gets in there, they're going to recall all this money, and we can't have a traitor's name, a racist, white supremacist name on this money. Oh, I love it. These Trump notes. They call it, because $100 bills have a nickname as C notes.
Yep.
Now, So they're gonna be them Trump notes. Oh, this is great.
I think it's beautiful, and that's how culture is actually fought and won. It's through things like this. It's not through sitting there throwing incendiary language and all that. I'm not saying that Trump doesn't do that, but it's not as effective as when you do something like this that actually changes. Not only is he getting rid of that crazy guy at the Fed,
Jerome Powell.
Yeah, my goodness gracious, what a disaster that's been. And I mean, whether you're on the left, the right, or in the middle, everybody knows that the Federal Reserve needs to be audited. And you know what? Our congressmen and senators don't do that. And that would be like a really great thing to have happen so that we can actually see how the sausage is made inside the U.S. Federal Reserve.
Ain't no doubt about it. All right, I got another topic for us here, Andrew. I think that's great, though. Y'all hit the like button. If you are watching on the Mazda Jackson live stream, hit that like button if you're excited to see some of those Donald Trump $100 bills come through. If you're mad, drop me a thumbs down emoji in there. If you're happy, hit the like button. If you love it, share it somewhere. Let folks know about it. All right, Andrew, this is a topic that I know you and I are pretty tuned in on right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I posed this question on my Facebook yesterday. So in Mississippi, 2 years ago, we passed a law allowing for completely autonomous driven 18-wheeler, commercial 18-wheelers.
Yep.
And they can go through the state without even having a human in there for oversight. So I posed two different questions. The first one is, would you rather Mississippi allow the self-driven trucks or the foreign non-English speaking truck drivers that have been wreaking such havoc on the roads? You can't say neither. You got to pick one. Pick your poison. AI-driven trucks or Habib from Pakistan or wherever, not speaking English, running the roads.
Who won?
I didn't do a poll.
Oh,
most people still said neither, but I want an answer from you.
Oh, I want the autonomous truck.
Me too.
Not even debatable.
Yep, me too. All right, so what do you guys think on the Ellis Autoplex text line? Let me know if you had to just pick one, or in the Mazda Jackson live stream, the Ellis Autoplex text line 769-241-1944. You got to pick one. You want maximum overdrive, robots driving the trucks, or you want the Pakistani special coming barreling through, treating parked cars like bowling pins.
It's not even debatable. And the thing is these are already on the road. They're already out there doing their thing.
Both are actually.
Yep. Yeah. And every once in a while you'll hear of a Tesla having an incident, but you're not hearing about the trucks having the incidents. You're not hearing about the mass casualty drills. And that's not to say that one's not going to happen, but we have 18-wheelers under American control roll over, have things happen. So it's not that it's going to have it. What you're seeing is disruptive technology being forced into the marketplace. And, one of the things that when we're getting out of the military, they said one of the best things vets can do is go become a truck driver. Buy elves, think about stuff, just kind of chill out and have our own hours. And it's a great way to make money. But you think about these autonomous 18-wheelers, they don't have any rest rules. It's more economical for a company to spend, an extra $500,000 on one of these Tesla trucks, and they can drive for 24 hours. Well, actually, they can drive for.
Well, there's a company named Aurora out in Texas that is converting trucks into autonomous driven trucks. They don't actually build their own truck. And I know Tesla's doing some too.
Yep.
But there is a company out called, and I watched a good little 13-minute video on Netflix about it last night. Now, look, I want to pivot here to another topic. Let's finish what you were saying.
I'm just saying it's going to completely change how shipping and trucking is done across the United States.
Yeah. So that brings me, same topic, different version of the same topic, should I say.
Mm-hmm.
Should we? Because my argument against it is this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to eliminate tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands,
millions
of good blue collar jobs for guys, for uneducated men, uncollege educated men.
Yep.
It's going to eliminate a big portion of jobs. And there's kind of a false narrative out there that there's a driver shortage. There's not a driver shortage. There's a willingness to pay drivers what they're worth shortage.
Yep.
So it's pushing drivers out of the business.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same thing as a driver shortage. That is kind of like the Amazon effect.
Absolutely. And we see what's happening with Amazon too.
Right. It's the Walmart effect.
Yep.
They're pushing, people out of the business because and that's the free market. It is what it is, right?
That's what America and capitalism is. It's always evolving, whether it goes from the steam engine to electricity to the computer age, or computer chip age, the atomic age. And it's just evolving and evolving it. And we're seeing another forced evolution. And we can sit there and we can try to stop it, Clay, but it's going to evolve somewhere. If it doesn't evolve here, it's going to evolve in China, or it's going to evolve in Russia, or it's going to evolve in Europe.
Well, let me ask this though: with autonomous trucks evolving or whatever in China, why does that mean it? Why do we have to do that here?
Because then they can go ahead and produce goods, not even necessarily for sale in America, but other countries around the world where they can produce goods and services so much more cheaply than what we can do here in the United States. And say what you want, capitalism and the market system works everywhere, whether they're in a communist country or not. It might be called the black market, but it's happening. And we're humans. We want to get the best deal that we can. And it's unfortunate, but we can say that we have humanity and we have workers' rights, and we want to make sure that we have. That's why we have the labor unions in America, right? It's because we were completely just blowing through humans in child labor back in the 1910s and 1920s. There's a great book called The Jungle by Thomas Sinclair. If you haven't read it, you should. It'll absolutely. Don't get me wrong. If you look up my history, I've been pretty vocal about the union and not for it. But this was the one time where I'm like, yeah, we needed the unions to go in there and stop some of the craziness that was going on.
All right, I'm gonna say this real quick. We've run over, but with that said, it's an interesting scenario here. You can just about run from Arizona east all the way to Alabama. You can pretty much run, with the exception of a few pockets in Arizona and Texas, you can run full autonomous. They do have some pockets where it's you got to have a driver in the vehicle. You got to have a human in there for human oversight. But for most of all of Texas, all of Louisiana, all of Mississippi, you can go full autonomous. Zero autonomy in Alabama. You got to stop and switch to a human driver before you cross into Alabama. Here's the funny thing though: Georgia, Florida, full autonomous. Alabama is in Arkansas, if you want to count Arkansas, Tennessee's full autonomous as well.
Yep.
Arkansas is kind of partial.
Yep.
I think you got to have a human in the vehicle, or a little bit of, it varies again.
Yep.
But they allow it. So you got to have a little human oversight, but pretty much you can go from the entire Sun Belt full autonomous, with the exception of Alabama. But you got it. So you had to go up through Tennessee and down and back down to Georgia. You had to go way around. So a big. So it's not cost effective to have to make that kind of detour.
Yep.
Right now, but if Alabama decides to give in, you're gonna see way more autonomous trucks in Mississippi. But right now, they're all kind of heading west from here, and there's not a whole lot from here heading west. So you're not going to see as much. But if Alabama folds, you're going to see a whole lot more autonomous 18-wheelers coming through the Sun Belt. And I'm just kind of curious what people think about it, because this got passed 2 years ago here in Mississippi. And I'm kind of surprised that, and I know it's the free market thing. I'm kind of surprised red states are the ones leading the way in something so technologically advanced that it's kind of scary to think about us being out on the roads with these things. But the more I think about it, I'm going to be honest, the more I'm okay with it, especially when I consider what's happened to the trucking industry with so many bad, illegal foreign drivers. That if, this is going to sound terrible, and I hate it, because I support my truck drivers, by the way. And if I had a vote today, I would vote to ban the autonomous vehicles, as long as we're also doing away with the illegal aliens having trucking licenses too, but not just one and not the other. You know what I mean?
I understand.
But if it's up to me, I'm going to go on record and say I support my blue collar, hardworking truck drivers, and I appreciate what y'all do. And if it was up to Clay Edwards, we wouldn't have none of this crap. Andrew, you want 10 seconds or less?
It's the AI revolution is coming, and we need to make sure that we have logical debates on what we're embracing and what we're not.
All right, we'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show with Andrew Gosser.
.1039 WYAB.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all. I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness in Mississippi. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
The IMAX at Malco Grandview Cinema offers moviegoers a truly immersive cinematic experience, a way to enjoy movies like never before. You're not just watching, you're a part of the action with IMAX technology at Malco Grandview Cinema in Madison. And now, relax and recline in luxury at Malco. The magic of the movies is even better with reclining seats at Malco Grandview Cinema in Madison and Renaissance Cinema Grill in Ridgeland. For more information and tickets, visit malco.com. We'll see you at the movies.
CBS News brief. TSA officers could get paid as soon as today following a Trump executive order. CBS's Jason Allen is at the Houston airport where security lines have been several hours long.
These lines have continuously been moving. We saw that yesterday as well. The last day of really, really long lines was on Saturday, so it does start to look like we're seeing continued improvement here.
President Trump's renewed threats against Iran, and CBS's Weijia Chang reports a possible operation involving ground troops is apparently on the table.
Hundreds of U.S. Special Forces service members, including Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, were going to the region for a potential special operation.
Air Canada CEO Michael Rousseau says he'll retire. He was criticized for an English-only condolence message after the LaGuardia runway crash.
Our deepest condolences go out to the jazz community and their families.
CBS, I'm Steve Kathan.
Looking for the spot-ton wine with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Homeowners and business owners, are your gutters and roof storm ready? The folks at Elite Roofing and Gutters are your local experts in storm protection. The team is dedicated to fortifying your residential or commercial location against the elements. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Elite Roofing and Gutters, online at eliteroofer.com. eliteroofer.com.
The 19th Annual Township Jazz Festival is Saturday, April 11th in Ridgeland. 8 hours of live jazz, headlined by Grammy winner Nestor Torres. Also featuring the Tropicals from New Orleans, along with local favorites like the Vamps, Southern Comfort, the JSU Jazz Band, and much more. And admission still free. That's the Township Jazz Festival on Highland Colony Parkway in Ridgeland. Visit townshipjazzfestival.com.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. Windshield repair, replacement of shower doors, mirrors, and everything in between. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Clay Edwards Show.
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here on WYA 103.9 WYAB with Andrew Gosser sitting in with me. Andrew will be coming up next on WY from 10 noon, followed by Lindsey Beckham from noon to 1. Our midday national shows. I'll be honest, I don't even know what we got anymore. I heard Scott Jennings on the other day. Apparently we have Scott Jennings now. I know we have, what's her name? The chick. I like
Dana
her a lot.
Loesch.
Dana Loesch. We have Dana after your show. Or is she before your show?
She's
not before. I mean, she's after
Lindsay.
She's after Lindsay. So yeah, we got the girl power hours there from noon to 2, I guess, or 1 to 3.
Something like that.
I don't even know anymore. Then you got Kim Wade 4 to 6. That's what I was working towards there.
Yep.
You know, you got the midday stuff, then you got Kim Wade 4 to 6, and man, bringing us home with the high heat.
There's
Mr. Kim Wade,
Radio Strongman.
Let's see here real quick. Lunch today at McBee's. It is my favorite chicken spaghetti with a ton of chicken, and you can also get the hamburger steak, the chicken breast, or the country fried steak as the blue plate. Or if you want to try something on menu that's not on the blue plate, guys, I'm gonna tell you what, the fried chicken sandwiches at McBee's have not one but 2 pieces of chicken breast on it. I love Nashville hot, also love buffalo, so you can do either one. You need to go to their Facebook page, McBee's Bar and Grill, and just kind of stroll through the photos and find a picture of their Nashville hot or their buffalo chicken sandwich. And look, it's served in real life exactly how it looks on the internet. It's huge. Bring an appetite or bring a second person or take it to go box, because I'll be shocked if you can eat all of it. Their sides, the onion rings or fries, or both fresh cut potatoes and fresh cut hand battered onions. So it's no frozen stuff. And the ranch is homemade to dip either one of them in, or the comeback's homemade. It's all made from scratch. It's so good. McBee's Bar and Grill. Check them out right there. Lake Harbor Drive, Ridgeland, Mississippi. One of the last great dive bars left in Mississippi. Definitely one of the last left here in central Mississippi. Good food, good times, cold drinks, pretty girls, good folks. Can't go wrong. Buzz and a Riz since 1982. McBee's Bar and Grill. All right, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
So we ran through the trucker topic. We ran through the Trump stuff. Mississippi's 50-50 divorce law that could be passing. Have you kept up with this at all?
I have not, but I'm interested in it.
So it is really interesting. It's pretty much it's going to become the default in divorces, this 50-50 custody. And then each one will be looked at on more of a one-on-one basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a good thing. I do. I think too many fathers have been screwed by the default setting. And then the very mother that insisted on, and this is not a catch-all, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater here, but just more times than not, the very mother that insists on getting this full coverage, not full coverage, but full custody, where the dad only gets to see his kids every other weekend and all that.
Every other Wednesday, whatever.
Yeah, or every other weekend. Even let's just say 4 nights, 4 nights a month, 4 days a month.
Yep.
That very mother ends up being the same one doing all the complaining that she don't get no help.
Yep.
Which is like, well, you kind of did this to yourself, didn't you? So there's a lot of information out there now. Yeah, I got it pulled up here. It took me a second to get to what I was looking for. There's a lot of information out there now that show that divorce rates have plummeted in states that have done this.
Really?
So Kentucky started this first in 2016. So if you take 2016 to 2023, what do you think? Just kind of pick a number. What do you think percentage-wise Kentucky's divorces dropped?
I'm going to say 15%.
25%.
That's huge.
And in the same time frame, nationally, divorces are down 18% nationally. But I believe that the national number, it was highly impacted by Kentucky and some of these other states who have done it. Because what it's doing is, and people say, oh, it means women are being stuck with abusive husbands. No, not always. It means that free ticket of, I'm going to get all this child support money to support myself because I don't want to be with this man no more. that free ticket goes away.
Yep.
And you're forced to have to work it out with your husband. And divorce rates have plummeted because a lot of times you'll see where I watch a lot of these videos online. These women will get married young and they're about their mid-20s or so as their friends are getting back from college and going out having fun and stuff. And they kind of miss out on it, man. They got married a little too young. They're missing out on the good times and all that. And they on social media too much. And, the devil gets to working, for lack of a better term. And, what am I doing with this man? When there's all these other men out there, want me, that can do me better. And there's a better life out there that's not ever out there. And they find out the hard way that that good man that was working so hard for you and didn't get to spend all that quality time with you because he was working and trying to make the money and bring on the bacon and all that. That's actually what real life is like.
Yep.
And not these Instagram relationships where everybody looks all happy, go lucky.
Yep.
Like that should be your number one red flag right there. If somebody else's family looks happier than yours, because every family's hard work.
It's total work. You're putting in a lot of effort, and it's not as easy as the internet makes it seem. And the grass is not always greener on the other side. Let me tell you that.
No, not at all. No, look, and most men seem to be for it. Most women seem to be against it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the lawyers seem to be against it because it's gonna eliminate a lot of divorce cases and stuff. But I do think you'll end up with more custody cases in the meantime. And look, a lady called into the show the other day and brought up a case about the father wants 50-50 custody, and he's got some serious paranoid schizophrenic mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
But the court's not making him do a mental evaluation. Where I think you got to really peel this onion back and be more specific. But I think it's going to require more of a hands-on approach, as it should.
Absolutely. It's not a cookie cutter option here when you're going with divorce and kids are involved.
Right. And I think a lot of times, we've seen it, and I'm just going to talk about being the man's perspective here.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen, let's just say the marriage ended because of infidelity or whatever, or maybe she just wanted to end it. Maybe the dad moved on quicker, and she's like, I don't want that damn trashy woman around my kids. I ain't big booty Becky, Trashly. I don't want them around my kids. I want full custody. That bitch ain't gonna be around my kids.
Yep.
None of that, And well, then she gets her way. And she's like, oh crap. Well, I don't have any time for me.
All of a sudden, they still have to realize that they're the mother.
Yep.
And now that they've wanted full custody and full control of what their kid consumes, goes to school, there's a lot more to it than just sitting on your butt making decisions. There's work that's involved.
Yep.
Sitting at home doing the homework with it. And I've done it as a single dad, full custody.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you it's work, but it's treasured work. You never get those moments back.
Absolutely. Take advantage of being able to do it. But anyway, so if y'all want to see a good, lively conversation about all that, go to my big Facebook page, the @SaveJXN on Facebook. It says Clay Edwards, but if you type in @SaveJXN, it'll take you to the right page. And just scroll down to yesterday's post. You'll see the graphic I made and just read a bunch of the comments under it. People kept it really nice for the most part that I saw. I think y'all will enjoy that. And it kind of give you a perspective on both sides of it. A lot of very respectful women spoke, some respectful men spoke. And I do appreciate them. I was going to take a deeper dive into that today, and I may pivot that to tomorrow and really read some of those comments out here. Andrew, thank you for sitting in with me this morning. I will see you tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll be right back to land the plane for the day here on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB.
Ooh. Good morning, Mr. Gosser. I don't have the text line for Clay. One of my
Hold on, Andrew. Why isn't it? All right, guys. A weird deal there. Normally it automatically goes to break at 8:55. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace out. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Y'all stay tuned in to WYB for Andrew coming up next.